Talk Radio.
Good evening and welcome to another episode of the Married Men on Talk Show. Phone lines are open right now, but this show is strictly for men only. We have a few rules, and they are absolutely no profanity, no politics, and no racial stuff. The show is apolitical and race neutral so that we can make sure that any man can feel comfortable on our show. And this ain't Bible study. Tonight's topic, my wife has a boyfriend. My wife has a boyfriend. My name is Rodney, and I'll be your host, along with my co-hosts, Tony and Darren. If you do have something to say, please feel free to do so, or if you just prefer to listen, that's absolutely fine as well. But please find your mute button right now and kindly put your phone on mute. All right. All of that said, let's get started. Let me tell y'all a quick story about Craig. And this is a true story, fellas. It was a Friday morning, and Craig had just gotten back from a week-long business trip. He was exhausted, but he didn't want to wake his wife because it was so early in the morning. So he quietly sat down on the couch in the living room and started reading the newspaper, waiting for his wife to wake up. A few minutes later, Craig's phone vibrated. He just got a text message from his wife. The text message read, and I quote, Thanks for staying over this morning. I love sleeping next to you. End quote. Obviously, she wasn't talking about him because Craig had been gone all week on a business trip. Craig slowly began to realize that his wife was cheating and that she texted him accidentally. Furthermore, Craig realized that he had just missed his wife's lover leaving his house. All right. Thoughts, fellas, on Craig?
What do you say your thoughts on what, on Craig?
Yeah.
I mean,
his situation.
It's a situation. This situation needs to be dealt with immediately. And he needs to have a conversation with his wife and see if she can explain the text, see what she got to say. I mean, it's pretty.
Is there anything to say after that, though? Really?
I mean, no, I'm saying it's pretty clear cut to me, from my opinion.
Yeah.
Would you respond to the text message?
Yeah.
Would I what?
Would you
I
respond?
wouldn't respond to the text message. I'll go talk to her. She in the house, ain't she?
No, I'll respond to the text message.
What would you say in the text message?
I mean, I'll really be sarcastic, but, I would respond. I don't know. I would have to gather up something because, I'm going to be funny with her because before I leave. But, you're going to need to remain some kind of, you're going to have some kind of humor unless you're going to go crazy. Because that'll drive you crazy.
I don't know, man. I disagree. I know me, I will go talk to her, right? I mean, she's in the house when she's sending the text, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm going upstairs and ask her, okay, what's this on my phone? I'm not going to text her.
Are you going to see? This is what's going to drive you crazy. When you ask her that obvious question, and she started lying to you, which you know.
Well, see, now hold on. Well, yeah, but see, I'm not a woman asking the question because I already know the answer. I mean, I got the text, so I done put two and two together.
So
I will go up there and say, okay, please tell me how this happened. What is this text? What is going on? I already know what's going on because I got the text. The text is proof.
But you would stand there and just entertain those lies. That's what you're saying.
No, I wouldn't entertain those lies. This is my way of telling her that I know.
So this
is my way of telling her that I know, and then I would go on and start the procedures that I need to start.
Well, where is there to talk about? That's all I'm saying.
Did you hear me? I said that, and I'd start the procedures I need to start, which is me getting up out.
I think it's hard to say what any of us will do at that point, man, because I mean, you know, if you've never been there, it's hard to say what you do.
That is true.
Yeah, the only reason I'm saying that is because when I was in that spot, you know, when I was in that position and I found out my ex-wife was cheating, when I was in that spot, it was very uncomfortable. And to hear someone tell me lies consistently. And then the more and more I asked, the more lies that she told. And it just made me look, now you think I'm stupid. And now you're trying to insult my intelligence, you know.
I mean, did your ex-wife ever come clean and say?
No, the dude did.
Wait a minute.
That's
So your ex-wife,
that's even worse.
Your ex-wife never even came clean to tell you, yes, I am cheating on you.
No, because in her mind, she didn't call it cheating. But when you're in love with somebody, that's worse than cheating. When you're in love with them and they got your heart, I mean, I'm not gonna get past neither one of them. But to say you in love with somebody and you haven't slept with them yet, why would you even tell me? Why would I have to even drag that out of you that you're in love with a dude? But you're gonna tell? It don't even matter if you slept with him then, because you're in love with him.
Yeah, I mean, but it just says a lot, the fact that she could not just come clean and say, this is what it is.
Man, people don't want to face that reality. It is what it is. They don't want to face that. They don't want to realize that, hey, I'm about to throw my entire marriage away with kids, 10 years of marriage away.
But I know somebody who caught their wife, and when he presented the evidence and started questioning, I mean, she only kept her lie up for, an hour and 15 minutes at the most. But finally, she just said, okay, you got me.
You got it. And then what are you supposed to do with that?
I don't know.
I don't know how to respond to that because I've never been in that situation. But at least she done came out and just said, okay, you know what, enough with BS. This is what it is.
But see, when you listen to that story, right? When you listen to that story, it goes a little bit beyond cheating. When you think about it. Now, cheating. Now, if you go out and have an affair, you come on back home, or you have to meet somebody at lunch, go to the hotel, get it in, and I never know. Maybe I find out, maybe I don't. But when you have the dude come into our house when I'm out of town, screwing them in our bed, and then thanking them for coming over, that's a whole other level right there. Yeah. That's another level, man. That's beyond cheating. That's like disrespect to the 10th power. She just got no respect for you. You know, sometimes people can respect you and cheat on you. Like, yeah, you're all right, I respect you, a good person, but you ain't satisfy me, so I'm going to go somewhere else. But to do it in that fashion has got hate written in it, I believe.
Yeah.
I
don't.
Just reckless. Just reckless. And
I don't.
Good.
Yeah, I don't think it's hate and I don't think it's reckless. I just think that's how women are when they cheat. And
really?
That's why.
No.
I do.
No.
I do personally.
They smart.
I think when a woman cheats, it's more of a connection with the person she's cheating with than when a man cheats.
Okay, but listen, who gets caught? Who gets caught first, and who gets caught more often, men or women?
Men get, because we're easy to tell. I mean, we're not better at hiding it. A woman is more intricate, she's deeper with it than a man is. That's just her nature.
But listen, so how you gonna have the next dude coming in your family neighborhood, driving down the block where you live with all your neighbors, your kids, friends, everybody on that same block, sneaking the next dude in your house? That's reckless, man. She never let him to go to his house or meet at the hotel. That's reckless.
Yeah, that's reckless. But when a woman cheats, it's pretty bad. I mean, because they'll cheat with friends, family, and you'll never know till the funeral. They keep their stuff in the funeral. All their stuff, it might not come out then. Our stuff she finds out next week. But their stuff, nah, you don't even know. And see, a woman will text a dude oh, had such a good time with you. Great. You ever heard of a dude texting his side piece, checking to see if she made it home or thanks for coming over, whatever? It doesn't matter to him. That's because we wired different.
So these days, do you think that the wife cheating is common or uncommon?
They lie so well we'll never know. You'd have to get some to admit to it, and some of them take it to the grave and beyond.
Mm.
Where can you find good data on that? I mean, you have the numbers of that have been caught, but where can you get the numbers of the ones that are truly admit? That's why a man will never say, I know for a fact my woman ain't cheating on me.
Mm.
I mean, is anyone on this call going to say that?
Can say that they know for a fact that they know their woman ain't cheating on them?
Absolutely.
Oh, I can
100.
say I know for I can say that now.
Nobody on the call. Nobody.
Wait a minute. What do you mean nobody on the call can say that? Y'all can
Nobody
speak for yourself, but I know I can
speak
say.
for yourself.
I mean, right now,
okay.
right now. Now the question
Like
is.
your second? Well, you got your eyes on her.
Hold on. Now, it is if you can't say for a fact that your wife ain't cheating on you right now, then you looking at her through another set of glasses. Now that's what the question was. The question wasn't, do you know if your wife would ever cheat on you?
You're wrong. That wasn't the question. The question was, who can say for a fact they know their wife ain't cheating on them or have not cheated on them?
Have not cheated on them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can say that.
Right.
I can say that too.
Okay. Aaron is one. Anybody else?
Hey, I can say it too. I can say it too, and so can you. You can say it as well. You can say it.
Now, if it's true, is it true or
say
not?
it.
Exactly. We can say it like everybody else. Yeah, it's gonna sound good coming out. I'll say it twice.
Yeah.
If you want me to.
As we want. Yeah.
What about you, Andrew?
The next question is, can you say that it would never happen? Then that's a no.
That's another thing. That's right.
Okay, well then just simply rephrase my question. How many men on here could say that their wife would never cheat on them?
None of us.
Nobody.
No, nobody.
And none of us could say we would never cheat on our wives.
That's right.
Yeah. Do y'all think women usually cheat for revenge?
Yes.
Sometimes.
Or attention. One of the two.
Sometimes, yeah. Women cheat for every reason that men cheat.
No, I don't believe that.
I think they cheat for more reasons than men. I think they're more devious.
I definitely think that, and it's slick. Women are smarter than men when it comes to that. Most women don't get caught.
Exactly.
Guys are dumb. We do dumb stuff and get caught up in it. Women are slick, man.
It takes a cold-hearted woman to be that cold for a man not to catch her slipping. It takes a cold-hearted woman that can jump out of.
What? You'd be surprised.
I'm just saying. I'm not saying they are not out there. I'm just saying she just got to be turned off completely to emotion to be able to do that. Jump out of a bed with a clown and then jump in the bed with her husband and pretend like it ain't nothing ever happened.
Yes, I see that all the time. Yes,
that's cold. That's a cold-blooded chick right there.
And I'm not talking about one dude. I'm talking about gangbang.
Oh, see, that's crazy.
Wow.
See, she crazy.
And I'm not talking about boyfriend and girlfriend. I'm talking about married for years.
Well, like the only reason I'm saying that is because, when my wife, my first wife, finally told me, I just asked her, why did she cheat? I know I was in the Navy. I know I was going all the time. If that's the reason, then let me know that's the reason. She said, well, every time I tried to get your attention, you wouldn't give it to me. So when I started gaining attention from you, from me liking someone else, I enjoyed it. That's what I was, aiming at the whole time. But I just got caught up. I said, oh, okay.
So did your wife have a boyfriend though? I mean, was that her boyfriend?
Okay. Can I get 2 seconds?
Go ahead, bro.
Well, she was writing this cousin that's in jail. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
He was in jail for murder, and they were starting a prison ministry at church, and she was going to be a part of it, and we were stationed in Hawaii at that point. So she said, well, why would I do a prison ministry at the church when I got family members that's in prison, and I can do my own prison ministry, and, I wouldn't extend that out if I can't do in first. So she started writing this cousin that she hadn't seen since he was 8 years old. Got the information from her sister, started writing this cousin. He, of course, became a chameleon and started writing poems, started drawing pictures. That's what she was interested in. And then sent them a picture of her, or, they started swapping pictures. And then as time went on, it was like, wait a minute, you're writing him a little bit too much. That's some crazy stuff. Why are you writing this dude this way? She said, this is my cousin. You're so insecure. Okay, well, just be careful. You hadn't seen him, you didn't have breasts when you seen him last, right? Now you're a woman, and he's a man, and he's been locked up for 17 years. It's different now. And so I was blown off, as I didn't have a voice because I was always gone anyway. And she proceeded the conversation. It got heavier, and then, later on, she went down there when we got restationed back over this side. She started visiting him quite often, and I was very embarrassed because now you're a family member. You're cheating with me. I mean, you're not cheating with me, but you're cheating on me. But you're doing something that's outside of my will.
Yeah, she cheating on you. It's called an emotional affair. She cheating on you.
Right. Well, yeah. So she never admitted to it, but then I found letters hidden in certain things that I would never touch, like a set of maxi pads. I would never touch a set of maxi pads. I have no reason to touch that. But she stacked her letters up under those maxi pads because she knew that I would never go there. So when I found those hidden letters, I seen everything I needed to see in the letters that he was writing her. And then when I confronted her about it, she just denied it. But I was like, well, why is he writing this? And that just got me more angry and more angry as she lied to me. So when he called my house, I used to accept to collect calls, but I accepted it this time, and I said, no, I'm going to accept it because I want to talk to him. So when I started talking to him, he confessed to everything. And I used those same letters in court to get divorced and get my kids. But she found out that he was in love with him, and he said that he was in love with her because he was planning on getting out. They was going to let him out. So he did get out. And I told her, like I said it before, this is a cat and mouse game. You're going to throw your marriage away for a cat and mouse game? Am I that bad of a husband that you're going to leave me for somebody that was in jail for all this time? And, he got with her for a little bit. After he got the booty, he was out.
Yeah, that's crazy right there.
Yeah.
That's crazy right there. Yeah, I mean, that's a hard one to swallow.
Wait. I think are you saying that they actually had sex?
Yeah, when he got out.
She had sex with her cousin.
That's what her family members told me. I mean, she didn't tell me, but other people told me. So they said they was together for a while, so I just can imagine what that is. So they was like, when he first got out, he lived with her, he stayed with her, and I was like, and that's what my argument was in the court. When I presented those letters, I couldn't prove that it was 10 toes up and 10 toes down, but I did prove that it was some kind of affair there. And through the letters that he was writing, it wasn't hearsay. Because in his letters, he would say, well, from our last visit, when we touched lips and stuff like that. It wasn't hearsay. It was from his words. I still had the letters because I figured that she was going to lie to my kids one day, saying that Daddy just left us and left me and didn't want me no more and tossed me to the side. So I kept all the letters just to, just in case, she tried that on my kids. And she did, So I kept that for proof. It was an awful experience because I didn't want the dude to stay locked up. I ain't had no problem against him. I don't have a ring on his finger. I got a ring on her finger. So if I'm sitting up here telling you not to do this and not to do that, and you get defensive talking about you ain't my daddy, and you can't tell me to stop talking to my family, then it's like a catch-22 because I can't really say you can't talk to your family. So the only thing that's left for me to do is say, be careful, and then you fall in, and then, I'm like, well, you must have not really been wanted by me anyway. Well, it was your fault. You always gone. Well, that's okay. You can do the blame game if you want to, but I mean, I was in Brazil, I was in Curacao, I was in Russia, I was in all these different places, and I could have did a whole bunch of stuff, but I didn't.
So what do you think you would have did, Darren, if you physically caught them in the act? Like you always say, with 10 toes up and 10 toes down.
Well, my reaction to me finding out when I got back from overseas that she took my kids and visited them in the prison and kept them out of school so she can. She drove from Maryland to Georgia to let my kids see them, and I just asked her. I said, okay, until this divorce is over, don't take my kids to no prison. Don't take my kids to go see this dude. I don't want them to have any interaction with them. So when I got back from one of these missions, I was out of the military then. I started working in the private sector, and I was in Afghanistan doing some stuff. So when I got back, my son had told me that, Dad, we went down to Georgia to go to the prison, and we met and saw Cousin Warren, whatever his name is. Okay, yeah, first name. Okay, we good. And I immediately, I didn't lose it then because I was trying to keep my composure because the next day was Easter, and I had planned on going to church with everybody as a family just to play it off. I just got back on that Friday. So he told me that Saturday. And when he got in the car, when everybody got back in the car, he started crying, and she asked him what was wrong with him. And he said, I told Dad that we went down. I told Dad something you told me not to tell him. I told him we went down to the prison and saw, cousin so-and-so. And when she said, well, you didn't lie, so it is what it is. My reaction to just hearing her say that, I think I said this before, I didn't realize that a steering wheel was made out of aluminum, but my mind I kind of went insane for a second. And by the time I finished yelling, screaming, and cussing and fussing, whatever I was doing, the top of the steering wheel was bent down in my hand. And I found out it was aluminum because when they fixed it, they was like, oh, we just got to order a new steering wheel. But I didn't know it was enough strength in a man to be able to do such things. And I didn't realize I was doing it. But only thing I could imagine doing is trying to figure out how can I push her face on the other side of the window without breaking the glass. I mean, you all kind of crazy stuff come in your mind when you're insane temporarily. And knowing that I have been dedicated 10 years to the service, dedicated 10 years to this relationship, dedicated 10 years to commitment and my children, and I asked her one request and she did not do it, that ripped me inside out. So if I would have saw her doing it in the act, it wouldn't have been pretty. And that's why I say a lot of people they don't know what they'll do. But I didn't even realize what I was doing when I was doing it by tearing or destroying this car. I don't even know how we got home. I can't even remember how we got home. I was driving, but we was driving from the mall to the house, and I don't even remember. All that was dead space to me.
Mm-hmm. So do you think at that point that your marriage was over?
Well, I already knew it was over because we was working on an exit strategy then. I just said, okay, since we got to wait this year out, I mean, we got these laws up here that say you have to stay together for a year before you actually get a divorce. I think they put people in a dangerous situation because now you with the person, but you got to move out of the residence. But I don't have no place to go, so I had to stay in the basement. But I had to be tortured during that time until I moved out. So when that year, during that time, we was trying to just dissolve the marriage. It was just torture every day. Hearing the phone ring, hearing them talk. Just hearing it. After that happened, just hearing all the things that was going on, and now she's able to talk freely because now it's all out in the open. She's now able to talk freely to her man. So hearing this woman that
did he come over?
Huh?
Was he over the house like when you was in the basement? Was he upstairs?
No, he was in jail still.
Oh.
But he would call collect. And now, since it's all out in the open, now she feels that she can talk freely. And she was, and it was just torture every day.
Whose
I was
house
thinking
was
the
it?
car. Huh?
Whose house was it?
It was my house, but one of us had to move out.
Wait. It was your house in your name?
No, it was our house. Up here, it's joint property, community property. You know, it's both of y'all stuff when you're married. So we're trying to get a divorce.
No.
And it's our stuff.
No. Whose name? So the deed was in both names?
It was my house. Yeah, it was my house. The deed was in my name, but it was our house.
No.
It's community property.
It's not. Not with that situation. I mean, I know this for a fact because my first marriage, the house was in my name, and my lawyer asked me, how many days do you want to give her before she has to leave?
Yeah,
but what home, but she got to get up out of here.
So when you marry, so you mean to tell me when you're married, you can put your now you guys were still married, or was that
we were married
up in a separation agreement?
No, we were married. The house was mine in my name. She was living there. When we got separated,
were you married
separation,
before you bought the house, though, or did you come into the marriage with the house?
No, we were married. I think we were married, and then wait a minute. I don't even remember whether we were married.
No.
Or not
If you
bought
the house during the marriage, it doesn't matter whose name's on it. That's community property in the state of Maryland. Now, if you came into the marriage and already owned the house, that's a different ball game.
Yeah, that's different. Because I couldn't put her out. And
no. Either way, she was out. There was nothing she could say. She was married. I just couldn't. Well, when I sold the house, when I sold the house, I had to give her some money. So I guess we were married when I bought the house. Yes, because when I sold the house, I had to give her some money, but she had to leave because her name wasn't anywhere on the paperwork.
Yeah, no, her name was on the paperwork.
No,
it's places that she can sign because I was going to be using her income, but only on the deed. My name was only on the deed, and I did that because I was like, well, if she leaves,
who's on the mortgage? Who's on the mortgage?
I was.
Yeah, no. You should pull her out.
I tried that, man. And with the kids, they was like, no, the kids gotta.
I had kids.
I guess it works out for different people because it didn't work out for me like that. And I paid $40,000 for my lawyer.
Yeah. Hold on. Go ahead, bro. Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. Y'all could be talking about two different things. If y'all were both in the same state, that's one thing. But different states have different rules about property. If you live in the Commonwealth, they have very different laws when it comes to marriage and property. So we're
talking about Maryland.
Okay, all right. So both of y'all were in Maryland?
Yeah, I know them. Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. So y'all talking about the same laws. Okay.
Now, with those laws, I don't know, because I asked, when I went to the lawyer, they were like, well, the kids have to stay attached to the family home. One of y'all have to move out, and they didn't say which one. They just said one of y'all have to move out for a year, and then you guys can start the next step to your divorce.
Mm-mm.
And it needs to be drawn up on an agreement.
No. See, I had an agreement. My attorney served her with the agreement. She had 30 days.
Did she sign it? Did she sign that saying that she agreed to what your lawyer
No, she gave a copy to her lawyer. They made whatever changes they wanted to make. They gave it back to us. Me and my attorney reviewed the changes, but none of those changes had anything to do with her having the option to stay in the house. Because she even tried to fight it. She was like,
hold on a second. If she would have put on there, hey, I would like to stay in the family home, then guess what? Y'all would have been mediating over that.
No, there was no mediation.
I'm saying y'all would have. It would have been That would have been part of the mediation. That would have been part of everything that was going on. She just made it easy for you.
No, she didn't make it easy. She didn't want to leave. She had to go. She didn't want to go.
The only way she would have had to go if a judge put her out. Your attorney could not put her out.
Listen, you guys must not know the laws of Maryland, or somebody gave you all the wrong way that it works. I'm trying to tell you, she wanted to stay. We got it in the separation agreement, and her attorney had to agree with it because that's the way it was. Her name was on nowhere. It's my house. You were living in my house. If I say you couldn't live there anymore, she had enough time to go find another place. And within that agreement,
so what you're saying is y'all got married, you bought the house when you were married, and you had the ability to put her out without going through the courts. You could just say, leave this house.
Yep, right in our agreement. She had no ground to stand on. The only ground to stand on that she had.
Lawyer, I'll tell you that, because in the state of Maryland, it doesn't matter whose name is on something. If something is bought during the marriage, it's community property.
That's community property.
It's community property when it's time to split it up and divvy it up.
Community property. A judge, you can take it to an attorney, to your attorney, and they can write whatever they want, but your attorney can't force her to leave. Now, she left, but he can't force. Your attorney can write anything. My wife's attorney wrote all kind of crazy stuff.
Mine did.
All right? But I said no, and my attorney said, well, that's nothing. We go to court. But now she may have been in the wrong. She said, well, I'm going to go. But doesn't matter what your attorney writes up in with agreement. Now, if she decided I'm going to leave and not have a judge hear this.
I'm telling you exactly what happened.
My ex sent me to her court paperwork. When her court paperwork came to me, it say I will. Now, I had agreed to pay her $700 a month for child support since she was going to be down in Georgia, and I said just $700, and then I give her $30,000 cash because the house, it was $60,000 equity in it. So I said I already know they're gonna make me pay half of it. So I just pulled $30,000 out and gave it to her. But that was in there, and it said 12.5% per child or $700 a month, whichever is greater. That's what her attorney wanted me to sign. I said, wait a minute, I thought we just agreed on $700 a month. What is this? Whatever is greater, 12.5% per child. So if I would have signed that and returned that, then I would have had no leg to stand on because now I just signed a document that's a certified document because I had to get it stamped. What you call that?
Notarized?
Yeah, I had to get it notarized. So if I would have got it notarized and signed it, then that would have became a legal document. And I didn't do that. So since I didn't do that, she couldn't hold that against me. Now, if your ex-wife wouldn't have signed it, you would have been probably in the basement somewhere.
No, that's your situation, brother, not mine. I was in control of mine. I knew the law. I wasn't going to nobody's basement. Not when it was my house.
I just went and looked up the Maryland statute on this. If property is acquired after a marriage, it is considered common. Is considered common property.
Community property.
Yeah, community property. Even if only one spouse's name on it, it does not matter. The only time it's considered separate is if it was acquired before or if it came from an inheritance.
Right.
But if it any other way, then it would be considered community property, and you would not be able to kick out a spouse.
Now that's what I was read. Everything he
now
said.
Hold on. Does it say there that you can't kick the spouse out? I'm not saying it's not. The rule, the community property was as such. If I was to sell the property, I had to make her a settlement offer, which we did, but she had to leave that property.
I'm telling you, if she had taken that to a judge, she agreed to do that.
Yeah, and she had to wait a year for the money. So it's not like she got a check immediately. She had to wait a year for the money. So it's not like she said, "Well, let me take your cash and I'm leaving."
She left and decided to leave. Okay, for whatever her reasons, but you could not have.
Listen, Her lawyer told her we don't have a leg to stand on.
She had a bad lawyer.
In the house.
She had a bad lawyer.
I think Darren too.
I'm not saying her lawyer didn't tell her that, but she agreed to it because of the counsel that she got, which was bad counsel. Yeah. That house, unless you came in with that house, it doesn't matter whose name. It doesn't matter whose name is on it. It doesn't matter whose name's on the debt, and it doesn't matter whose name's on the liabilities. If it was acquired after the date of the marriage, it's community property in the state of Maryland.
Right.
Now, if your lawyer is going to write everything up in your favor because that's his job. Now, if she has a bad lawyer or a stupid lawyer or what, and he gives her this or that, well, she says okay.
Well, we're not all attorneys on this phone, so we're talking about hearsay. My lawyer, the first question she said to me was, when do you want her to leave the property? It's the first question she said. It's not the lawyer.
You said I want to leave her in 3 days. But it doesn't matter what your lawyer said. She couldn't force, your lawyer could not force your ex-wife to leave that property.
So why did
you can write anything you want? Your lawyer says, what do you want? This is what I want. That's her job. Now, if her lawyer does not fight that, your lawyer can't make her. The only way she could leave, maybe be evicted from that property, is to go in front of a judge. That's the only way she could be evicted. Your lawyer doesn't have the power to evict her.
I'm not telling you guys what I read. I'm not telling you guys what I've heard. I'm telling you guys exactly what happened, and you guys refuse to believe what I'm telling you. This is exactly the way it went down.
I'm not saying it didn't happen. I'm saying she did not have to leave. She chose to leave, and it may have been a better situation for her to leave, or she may not have gotten bad advice, but she did not have to leave. The only time she would have had to leave is if a judge ordered her out, not your attorney and not some letter.
Well, I hear you talking, and it may sound good to you, but I'm telling you exactly what happened. She had to leave. She had to leave. She had no option to stay.
Okay.
She wanted to stay. She didn't have no option to stay. She had to leave. And that was the first thing she said. And I said, no, let's give her a little bit of time. Let's give her a date so she can find a place to get herself together.
Let me add this part because I see where you're going. You had evidence that your wife cheated on you, right?
I didn't do it on the grounds of infidelity at all because I cheated.
No, but I mean, in terms of what you told your lawyer knew that you had evidence that she cheated on you, right?
I don't think no. I didn't have my evidence was hearsay evidence, so it wasn't evidence. I knew she did it, but I didn't have anything like a text message or email or anything like that.
Okay,
so it wasn't like I didn't have anything I could have taken to court to present. No.
Okay, because there are a number of reasons that the court would. There are a number of reasons why the court would force her out of the house. One would be
that the court would force her out. The court.
Right. The court. Right. But that's
not my attorney, but the court.
Okay. So just so you know, those legal documents, the separation documents that are signed and that are executed by both people become legal. So after your 12 months is up and you go in front of the judge, the only thing they say is, did everybody agree and live by everything that's on this document? Yes or no?
Absolutely. But if she did not agree, those things would not have come into law.
But she agreed. So she agreed. It was executed, and it became the law. So that's when you see
she agreed.
Right. Well, see, therein lies.
I'm not saying she didn't.
So we all on the same page then. What happened is she agreed. But she didn't have to. But she did agree, and because she did, that became the legal document. That became the legal binding situation. So she had to leave.
I got you.
Once they come up with an agreement, if the two parties come up with an agreement, then that becomes the legal binding situation, and that's what this says. The court will always go towards whatever the two agree upon. That will always be the first route. So because she agreed with it, that was it.
Yes, and so if you think about this, with two children, right, her attorney, any practicing attorney that's representing a woman in this case, she would have said, hey, wait a minute, we're going to get the house. He's going to leave. You see what I'm saying? We're going to get the house. He's going to leave. That didn't happen because that wasn't an option. The only option was, okay, when I actually sell this house, because I am going to sell this house, how much do you want for your part of this community property? 50% is, and 50% was all that I had to give her. Half of it. That was it. But she had to leave. So she went for the money. She had to get the money. You know what I'm saying? Because you ain't going to walk away from the money. But she had to, that was no longer her residence.
Good words. Gotcha. And speaking of leaving, fellas, I could have asked for some data points earlier, but y'all check this out. A recent survey of 1,000 married women found that 50% of them have a backup husband in mind should their current marriage take a turn for the worse.
Oh, God.
Do y'all think these numbers are accurate? 50%?
No.
No?
No, I don't think that's accurate. You know,
y'all hope it's not accurate?
let me answer that one. I think what it boils down to is, and I think that we all can say, if you got a divorce today, would you have some first, second, third choices as to who you gonna call next? I would say probably 99% of us would have that list. So if that,
I
wouldn't.
I agree with
everybody got.
I agree with him. I agree with him.
I wouldn't.
Oh, come on.
I haven't thought about another woman as a wife.
Well, no, but this is what you got a Facebook page?
Yep.
Okay, are you friends with any females?
Say that again?
Are you friends with any females on your Facebook page?
Many.
Okay. You trying to tell me there ain't a couple that you would call?
Well, let's put it like this. I've never thought about that. You know, but if my wife were to leave me or if she were to pass away, you know, who would be my next wife? No, it really has never entered my mind. Well, as a matter of fact, I'll tell you what's entered my mind. I don't know if I'd get married again.
Okay, well,
because it's a lot of work.
You in that 5%.
I'm just telling you. I've been married 3 times. I've been married 3 times, and you know what? I don't know if I'd want to start all over again. But then again, you know, if I was 22, that'd be a different ball game.
I'm with you, brother. I'm with you.
Well, I mean, I don't think about it twice, but I can tell you, I know a lot of women, a lot of single women, and if something happened to my marriage, I guarantee you, if it got close to that, then yeah, I would be lining them up like, okay, this is who I'm gonna call first, second, third.
Well, yeah, if I was in a bad marriage, I'd probably be thinking that.
Yeah. If it was headed that way, that's what I'd be doing.
You know, and I've been in a bad marriage, and I understand it. If I was in a bad marriage, then I would be thinking those things. But, like, you know, if my wife passed away, you know, what it was today? Today's the 11th. A year ago today, my brother-in-law, 49 years old, just dropped dead. Okay? My sister-in-law, who's my wife's twin sister, you know, that's a shocking situation, and you know, she hasn't been dating and that kind of thing like that, you know, but it's a different ball game, somebody dropping dead or you having a terrible marriage. If you have a terrible marriage, you can have all kind of things in the wings. But if you have a good marriage and your wife passes away, like all of a sudden like that, I don't know. You know, it's definitely not something that's at the forefront of my mind. I hope it doesn't happen, but I don't know if I want to have to go through everything and lay the groundwork of dating, and it's a pain in the butt.
Well, I'm with you on that. Well, I'm just saying. I dare to say that, you know, push come to shove, most of us will have a backup fairly, fairly close on. If you considering a divorce decree or getting ready to sign one, you done already got your 1, 2, and 3 together.
Absolutely, I agree with you. But this is the first time in my life that I don't, because I've been in that situation, and definitely I'm thinking, okay, yeah, she could be the next Mrs. Diaz. You know what I mean?
Well, so you done did it, so you know it's true.
I'm telling you, at those points in my life, absolutely. I was out, I was always looking. Oh, she kind of cute. Oh, yeah, maybe. But at the point I'm at now, and I'm not in a bad marriage.
It may not be the next Mrs. Diaz, but it may be the next one to hang out with. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I would probably be hanging out, but I wouldn't be looking at. I mean, if something happened to Glenn, okay, if God took Glenn home, okay, I'm not in that situation, so I can't say. I would probably hang out, in a period of time. I don't know how long, and that kind of thing like that. But and one of the challenges that I would have is that I don't know if I want to go through all of what it takes to develop another marriage. It's a lot of freaking work. And then you got to start all that over. And I'm not saying I wouldn't have, some people I'd hang out with, but to get married again, I don't know.
Well, I mean, speaking of that survey, 20% of those married women surveyed said they know for a fact that the dude who they got their eye on would drop everything to be with her if she ever asked.
Oh,
so
yeah,
what do y'all think
yeah.
about that? Think so?
I agree with that. 100%. The dude's
always
waiting for your
that.
woman. This dude's always waiting for your woman, waiting for you to mess up. Always. If she's fine too, you can forget about it. The dude is closer than you think. Yeah.
Tony, would you go off and get married again?
No. Negative.
You understand what I'm saying, right?
I told you, I agree with you.
Oh, I didn't know that was you that said that. Okay.
Oh yeah, I agree with you. I'm done with that.
I mean,
this don't work.
Now it'd be different if you were 22, right, Tony?
Mhm.
Yeah,
but I mean, more time,
both of us been down the road enough times to know, man, I don't know.
So let me ask you this question, fellas. Andrew, you say you won't get married again. Tony,
I didn't say I wouldn't. I said, go ahead.
Say it again. Say it again.
No, go ahead.
Go ahead. I wouldn't.
You said you wouldn't.
I said it.
I would be leaning toward not being married again.
You would be leaning toward. So would that mean would you be leaning toward not having sex anymore?
I'm not faced with that situation.
I will cross that bridge when I come with it.
So, I mean, I'm not faced with that situation. You know what I mean? And so it's hard. It's easy to say what I would do and what I wouldn't do. I knew when I got divorced before I was going to get remarried.
Okay, so I guess
because I had become a Christian and I couldn't imagine being by myself for the next 30, 40 years.
Okay, so is Christianity based on? I'm not trying to go off into that, but I'm just asking: are you?
You're already there. You're already there when you start talking that.
Well, hold on. Let me just ask. Let me get it out, just real quick. If you're gonna stay married, a lot of people say I'm gonna stay. I'm getting married now. I can. It's easier to talk from a perspective of how people need to be a Christian and how they can do without this and how they don't need to be doing this until they're married. Now, if you get a divorce, are you still in that mind frame, or do you say, let me put this Christian stuff on pause, let me beat these guts up, and let me see which one of these chicks I want to, stab out tonight because I'm not trying to get married no more?
Well, when I got divorced, I was 40 years old. All right, and I had three choices: single and celibate, get remarried, or go out, as you say, beat it up. Okay. Well, you know what? Single and celibate wasn't gonna work for me. okay? And I wasn't ready to go out and get remarried, so I was going to go out there and try to beat it up, all right? But the problem was I had become a Christian, and every time I tried to go out there, the Holy Spirit just beat me to death, and I just could not live in that world. I wasn't even getting the enjoyment out of it. I mean, it was a difficult situation for me to be out there chasing the tail, which really sucked because before I became a Christian, it was no problem.
But now that you are, so
when I was a Christian, I just could not go out and do that because I wasn't even getting the enjoyment out of chasing it. I mean, I was under such convictions and stuff, you know, that I it's like this ain't gonna work. And that was me. Now some other guys might be a different situation.
That's why I'm.
Can I try to answer that question?
Yeah,
Can I try to answer your question, Darren?
Please.
I'm gonna try to answer your question. I'm gonna try to answer it.
Because Andrew over there dancing. Go ahead.
I'm not gonna dance around it. I'm gonna answer your question. I think I'm gonna address something that needs to be addressed. So when you say, because now I'm a Christian, that if I'm not married, I'm not supposed to have sex, right? So I will sacrifice.
You're not
sex.
supposed to fornicate. You're not supposed to fornicate. Right. Go ahead.
Gotcha. So you also said that I would have to put the Christian stuff on hold and beat the booty up.
That's what I'm asking.
So what does a Christian do when he goes into Walmart and looks at the girl with the big old fat booty? Does he put his Christian on hold just to go to Walmart?
But you're not answering the question. I answer that question.
That is it. No, that's answering. So the question is, what sin is greater? The one where the guy says, okay, well, you know, I'm going to have sex unmarried, or I'm going to go lust after this chick and being married?
When you say lusting, a lot of, when I hear the word lust, just doing a crowd scan and catching two cheeks, that ain't really lusting, because I can like, whoa, okay, let me go ahead and keep it moving. But
you do know some men don't even look.
Say what?
Some men don't even see the booty.
No, we're not talking about homosexual.
No, I'm not. I'm talking about, there are some men that don't even notice the fat booty right next to them. Right?
I don't believe that.
That ain't true. That's a lie.
I don't believe
that.
That's
a lie.
That ain't true.
I don't believe that. Yeah, that.
Try it again. Unless you're taking a banana in the tailpipe and noticing that fat chick.
Yeah. So what happens when you notice that fat chick and you notice the fat chick? Because we all say, "Oh my goodness, she's fat to death." What does that mean?
That does not mean
that you're lusting.
That doesn't mean you're lusting. That just means you just notice that somebody got a big booty, and you're just like, "Wow, tight." All right,
if that's what you call it, that's fine.
That don't mean you want. So you saying? So you saying every time?
So hold on. Why you can't say it in front of your wife? Honey, look at that fat old booty. Oh my goodness, she's fat.
Because you ain't trying to disrespect her. You're not trying to disrespect her.
Come on,
you're not gonna disrespect your wife. Nobody want to get slapped.
This is a phone call with men on it. We're all men here, man. Keep it real, brother.
That's right. I'm keeping it real. I'm telling you. They said, why won't they say it in front of their wife? They're not trying to disrespect their wife because that's the one they love. They ain't gonna disrespect her. I mean,
there ain't nothing wrong with telling her.
Huh?
There's nothing wrong with telling your wife that's a nice looking woman over there.
No, I wouldn't do that either. Bump that. I'm not trying to get in no trouble, but that doesn't mean I want to screw the girl just because she got a fat booty.
Yeah, exactly.
That doesn't mean
I got you. The point I'm trying to make is for you to ask the question.
You still didn't answer the question.
What would you do with being a Christian? I told you I will cross that bridge when I get to it. Just like you're going to cross that bridge the next time you get to Walmart and look at the girl with the fat booty. You got to cross that bridge. So the next time you see the fat girl.
No, it's not a bridge to cross. I mean, I'm telling you, it's not a bridge to cross. If I see somebody with a voluptuous body and they wearing some things that's revealing and they trying to get the attention, I can't make my eyes not. I can try, but automatically, I'm talking about an auto button. The auto button, just like autopilot lights. When it get dark, your auto lights come on. Automatically, the attention my eyes going to glue to whatever. Whoa, what the heck is going on? And then now I got to collect my thoughts. Hold on. Now I got to collect my thoughts and be like, whoa, let me just back up from that because I don't want to get slapped because old lady right here. And even if I'm not with my old lady, if I don't want to catch gawking, or I don't want to catch myself or find myself gawking at somebody. So, but that doesn't mean I want to screw them. Now, the question I asked you was totally different than that. The question I asked you was, you were a Christian, you gave up your walk, your life papers or your papers that you want to go out there and be worldly. Now something happens and you dissolve your marriage, and then it's time for you to have sex again. Do you stop having sex because of your Christianity, or do you lay your Christianity down and say, hey, I'm finna go ahead and do my thing? God just going to have to forgive me for this one because I'm finna do this.
But the point that I'm making to you, Darren, is this.
You still didn't answer the question. Yes or yes or no? Would you hit the booty?
I've already answered the question, but you're not hearing me. But the question that I have to ask to you is, so are you going to stop the little sins that you do every day? Are we all going to stop? Because we all put our Christian hats on and start talking about what the person would do now that he's saved, but we still doing the same things in other ways.
No. So, we're turning from that way daily. We're dying daily to ourselves, and we're daily working on that. Okay. Now, if you're daily working on it, that's cool. But if you smashing booty and you know it's wrong and you're gonna keep smashing it because you don't want to get married because that's your only other option, just to hit it without being married, then you're not daily working towards anything. Not unless you're working towards marriage.
Hold on. Listen. But what I'm saying to you is, you got brothers that are Christian that will say, okay, you know what? I'm gonna cut down on my pornography from 4 times a week to 2 times a week, but I'm daily working on it. I'm daily working on it to get better. You understand what I'm saying?
But did you hear what Andrew said earlier?
That's even yourself.
Did you hear what Andrew said earlier?
There's a difference between falling into sin and living a lifestyle of sin, and there's a difference. If you just say, well, I'm only gonna smash the booty, once a week, and that's my cut down on it. That's living a lifestyle of sin. If you say, okay, I'm gonna stop, all right, and you fall from time to time, that's a different ballgame.
That's a different ballgame.
I hear you, and I don't want to sound argumentative. I really don't. But some of us on this phone live a lifestyle of sin. If we look at what sin really is and what we do on a daily basis, we was born into a lifestyle of sin. So I don't really understand that point.
No, you see,
if you know that you're sinning, you call whatever sin you want, whether it be pornography, whether it be whether it be fornication, whatever it happens to be, whether it be lying, whatever your pet peeve sin is. Okay, if you know that this is your struggle, and yet you are continuing to do that and not trying to fight through that, that's a different situation. If you say, look, my issue is gossip, yet I'm not doing anything to stop it. I'm just giving in to saying, okay, now you're captive to that sin. There's a difference between, giving in and being captive and fighting and falling.
Right. That's 3 different things.
It boils down to sincerity of effort. If you are giving effort sincerely, then you're doing what you're supposed to do. But if you are falling down consciously, then you're not doing it sincerely.
And the word that you use is the key. It's the consciousness, okay, that you're consciously continuing in that lifestyle. And if you can do that without convictions from the Holy Spirit, I mean, I guess there's Christians out there that are cool with that, but that didn't work for me. I tried. I really did. I tried to be out there gunslinging, but I couldn't continue to live that way.
So, okay, that's fine. So we can pick and choose. I think we should all just pick and choose what's more important and what holds more value, what sin is more important.
No, it's not. You're looking at it from the wrong perspective. You're looking at it from the wrong perspective. You're looking at, okay, which sin should I do and which sin should I not do? You shouldn't do any of them. Let me finish.
You just said it.
Hold on, let me finish.
You just answered the question.
Let me finish. If you know it's sin, period. You know it's sin, and you need to not do it. If you already know it's sin, so it ain't no. Well, I'm gonna pick this one because this is lesser than that one. No, it ain't no greater or no lesser. No, just say.
Wait a minute. Are you gonna make me think that fornication is not lesser than murder? Come on, let's be honest. Wait. When you're telling me that fornication is not lesser than murder, you really have a problem.
Okay, listen what I'm saying.
God's eyes or in man's eyes?
Let me finish. We're not looking at it from an omni-direction. We're looking at it from a godly direction. Okay, so in his eyes, it's all the same. All right, so now
I'm sorry. I do not feel any guilt of having, let's say, until I'm honest with that woman, of being basically sleeping that woman, but I certainly will feel a lot guilty of killing another human being and taking the life of another human being.
Well,
that's
Stanley,
two different things.
First of all, Stanley, you have to be a Christian to understand where I'm coming from. If you're not a Christian, no offense or nothing like that, but if you're not a Christian, then you wouldn't understand what we're talking about right now. Well, what I'm talking about right now. Now, if you're a Christian, then you'll understand where I'm coming from.
But it has nothing to do with Christianity. Even I know Christian who will tell you
what the question
killing
is about.
somebody.
The question is about.
Put Christian to the test. I dare you to put Christian to the test. So you have two choices. Are you going to feel more worse of killing somebody, or are you going to feel worse of sleeping with another human being? Trust me not. 90% of people will feel worse of killing somebody. Not sleeping with somebody.
I got that. But this question was about you're saying you are going to give your life over to your beliefs, regardless. Now, if you're going to state that, if you're going to stand by that point, then if an opportunity, and say you're saying you're not going to get married no more, but the opportunity to have sex come up in your life, what would you do? Would you stand on your Christian values, or whatever your beliefs, that value that tells you don't have sex or without being married, or would you go ahead and fold and say, forget that part, and I'm finna go ahead and do what I got to do? That's what
I'm going to run towards the altar.
I think some people are going to pick and choose. Some people, if you had a good marriage, some people will say, fine, I'll get married. But like one of the brothers said, it's hard. It's this, it's that. Some
but he said he would.
Hell no.
Hold on. Listen. You don't even have to kill somebody. You can think like you want to kill somebody. You can get mad at somebody. What does Jesus say about anger? Come on, guys. What did he say about a foul mouth? Certain things that we do on a daily basis that we know ain't right, and we still do it. Somebody cuts you off, to be like, man. You guys, Darren, you understand what I'm saying to you, but you want to pick and choose your sins, just like my man is saying. If it's murder, you'll probably say, okay, well, murder's a little worse to do than adultery, but in the eyes of God, it isn't.
Why are we not answering the question? It was a simple question. The question
is, but it's not simple. It's not simple.
But why are you trying to drag everything else in it? We're not talking about other sins. We're not talking about none of that stuff. We're talking about a man turning his life over to Christ, and then he gets a divorce, and now it turns up that he wants to have sex now, but he don't want to get married again. What does he do? At that point, at that moment, what will you do? So that's the point. That's the question. It ain't got nothing to do with no other thing.
I answered the question 45 times already. When the man gets to that point, the man will address that point. Just like we said, you don't know what you do when you find out your wife is cheating. You don't know what you're going to do till it actually happens to you.
And when it comes to that point, exactly. When it comes to that point,
will feel bad.
Go
ahead and get married? So would you when you say, hey, look, I want to have sex. I'm feeling this. I am horny all the time, and now I'm thinking about these. I need to go. Would you fold and say, "Let me go ahead and get married again. Let me find a woman that's suitable to be a bride, to become a bride."
He doesn't know that answer. The bottom line.
I'm going to tell you what. I live that. Okay, I live that, and I tried to be out there, as you call, smashing it. Okay, because before I got saved, that was not a problem, and when I got saved and I was divorced when I got saved, I wasn't trying to get remarried because I went through a devastating marriage, a devastating divorce. Okay, but I'm going to tell you what, for me, I couldn't be out there doing what I tried, and every time I tried, it was just awful. Okay, and that was me. Maybe it's not the same for everybody, but that was me. And I realized, you know what? If I'm gonna have sexual relationships, I'm gonna have to be married. And the other question was, okay, am I going to give up sex until I die at 40 years old? And the answer was no. So that's when I said, okay, well, I can't stay out here continuing to do this, and I started to look, okay, well, now I know I'm not just going out to smash. I'm looking for a wife. I'm looking for somebody that can be my wife. And it was very different. And that happened after I got saved. And that's what happened to me. And it may be different from different guys. And maybe God is different with different people. But that's the way it was for me.
I think I can tell you right now, I'm getting married, I'm having sex.
Yeah, I think that's Darren's question. It sounds like a simple question. He's basically asking, as a Christian male, if you enjoy sex and you get somehow, somewhere you're not married no more, why would you not get married again? Or rather, if you see cheating on your wife as a sin, and you probably think of fornicating as a sin, then you don't have an option but to get married again if you want to continue to have sex.
So since we've heard that question 100 times and we tried to answer it to the best of my ability, let me ask you a question, Darren. So let's say you were in that situation and you want to have sex. So you're just going to marry the person that you want to have sex with just for the sake of having sex? Who will put a ring on her finger? Whoever.
This is Gary. I would tell you this. First of all, for me, God has convicted me enough to not even mess with a woman that could not be my wife. So if I was even considering it, it would be with somebody who I would be considering to marry. So no, I'm sorry. To me, it's just unattractive. It's unattractive for me to be with somebody just for the sake of sleeping with them. As far as I'm concerned, I might as well do a prostitute, and I'm not going to do that.
Good words.
That's good.
What happens if you do get? But what happens if you do get married to that person and you find that sexually she's not compatible with you? Are you going to basically not feel bad that you didn't get to know that part before getting married?
You know, I hear people say this, and I'm sorry, I'm going to be blunt about it. I think that's a load of hogwash. And the reason
that's not
why
a load of hogwash.
That,
whoa, that's not a load of hogwash. Sex is the number one or number two reason that people get divorced.
No. This is the thing. This is the problem. The problem that we have is we have imprinted what we did with other people, and we try to recreate what we had with someone else with the new person. And what I'm saying to you is, for me, that's not a problem. I understand that it's something that is easy for us to do, and it's easy for me to do. But I try not to do that. So whoever it is that I'm dating, trust me, I want it to be great. And so I'm going to mentally, spiritually, and physically give my 100% to make sure that it's great. So it does not matter about, the other person. I mean, as long as they give it 100% to the relationship, that's all that matters.
Yeah, but there is a lot of sexless marriage in this world, and trust me, I know a lot of men who give 100% and everything, but they live in a sexless marriage. Two of them are in two different rooms. Are you going to deny that? And there's a lot of Christian who are in sexless marriage. You'll never know about it, but it's true.
Well, that might be true. It just wouldn't be me.
It's true.
He said it wouldn't be me. But did y'all hear the story recently about the New York City bus driver that was involved in a love triangle?
No, really?
No.
Yeah, he was he's a bus driver, and he was on his way returning his empty bus back to the bus depot. Since his route was over, bus was empty, so he was just taking the bus back. But he spotted his wife in a vehicle having sex with another man. Now, don't ask me how he just happened to roll past his wife getting boned in the back seat of a car, because I don't know the answer to that. But this is real. You can look it up. It happened. But anyway, his wife had been cheating on him for some time. So when he saw them getting it in the car, he parked his empty bus, got out, and stabbed the man with a pocket knife. Now, the man survived, but what do y'all think about this situation? The man is married, driving the bus. All of a sudden, he rolls past, and there's his wife in the back seat of a car with another man. So obviously, his wife had a boyfriend.
Obviously, his wife wasn't being honest with him. Obviously, his wife wanted to keep things for herself and not be honest. Obviously, his wife said what he said. We're in a marriage, so I'm going to keep it inside, and it's not important, sex, and this and that. Obviously.
Mm.
Well, let me say, I did not say that it wasn't important. I didn't say that. No, it's very important. What I said was the part that I disagree with is it's not a matter of this is something that I can't change, that I can't affect. People talking about this whole thing with chemistry as if I'm not a part of it. It's as if God created it before I was born and it doesn't change. No, it changes, and I can change it. So in terms of the sexual chemistry I have with a person, I am completely responsible for it. Okay, I'm not irresponsible for it. Okay, and in this case with this guy, that's a whole nother ball of wax. But the sex is important. Don't get that part twisted.
But with this guy, do y'all think how can a marriage survive after a wife cheats on the husband? Can it survive? Can it survive?
Yes, it can. Absolutely.
I don't know, man. And the reason why I say that is because I have to give. I can't. When you start running and you do your best, or a driver, let's say a race car driver, he's not used to going slow. He used to going 190 miles an hour, and he can't. If he gets in that car that makes him drive 190, he's going to try to make it go 200. And I feel that I'm like that myself. When I love something or love someone, I give 150, and I can't give no less than that. But included in that 100% or 150% includes trust as well. And I would short her, and I won't be the best husband that I could be if I was to stay locked in the marriage with that always on my mind. I wouldn't. If I can't trust you, that takes away a huge piece of that 150. It might knock the marriage down at best and make me miserable because I can't give any more than 75%. Now, not only are you miserable, now I'm miserable. And I'm in this marriage that I'm miserable in it, and with this person that I always look at, with another set of eyeglasses, and like, is she really doing it? I'm always questioning myself. So it won't ever be 150%. Never. Because I always had it back in the back of my mind. I just thought you was good and you slicked me the first time, but how did you get around me? I'll always be thinking about that. Sometimes I think about that. I'm married. It's years later. I always thought, up until just like last couple of months ago, I've always thought, dang, well, how did she get by me with that?
Mm-hmm.
Well, let me give another viewpoint of this. First of all, I've been married for 18 years. My wife has built up 18 years worth of love investment, okay? And because of that, she has changed me irrevocably. I am not the same person I was 18 years ago. I am a completely different human being, and she is the primary one that's responsible for the change in me.
Has she ever cheated on you?
Huh?
Has she ever cheated on you?
I cannot answer that question, and the reason being I cannot answer that question is because I believe that my wife she has to say that it would be okay for me to mention anything like that. So I would never answer that question to anybody, regardless, yay or nay.
We don't know your name. Hold on.
It would be hers to admit. If I cheated on her, she wouldn't tell nobody that I cheated on her because it would be for me to admit, not for her to admit.
Okay, so have you ever cheated on her?
I have never cheated on my wife.
Okay. You sound like a dude right now, right? And that's okay because you're a dude, but you sound like a dude that's saying, well, I'm going to plead the fifth. And I get it. But when you plead the fifth, it makes people think that there's something that may actually be there.
Hey, well, the thing about it is here's what I'm saying to you is I am pleading the fifth, and what I would say is you can believe whatever you want to believe.
Sure.
Okay?
Sure.
All right. But
we
what I
believe that she did
is that I have never cheated. So that is what I will tell you.
Okay, so let me ask you a question, bro.
Okay.
And you can go on my Facebook page and check this out. Okay.
Okay.
After people read the book that I wrote, they go and make comments on the Facebook page. One guy that I know, he was a military person, and he used to cheat on his wife, but he came back, and he got his life together with Christ, and his wife got saved. They had their baby. They had 3 kids, and when his middle daughter was 21 years old, she got pregnant, and he went to the hospital with her and got to check up, make sure the baby was okay. And she said, well, you have to work on that sickle cell. You have to take medicine or preventions because you have a sickle cell trait. And the doctor told him it came from one of them. It came from either his wife or him. And so he went to the doctor, and he found out it was no trait in him, and he asked his wife to go check. His wife didn't have it in her either. She conceived that daughter, and that daughter wasn't his, and he was raising all this time. That daughter was not his. All right? Okay. But he didn't know that until now. She's 21 years old, pregnant, and went to the checkup with her. And this was his favorite daughter. But he asked his wife, and she don't even know what he's talking about. So would you stay with your wife if you found out she cheated on you and the baby was not yours?
And what I can tell you is that I have been through enough in 18 years to say unequivocally I'd be mad as hell, but a brother would stay.
Okay.
And I'm going to tell you, like I said, again, my point being is that the amount of love that we have had in our relationship, it has paid for any mistakes that she has made.
Except that one, or?
No, there's no mistake that my wife can make that our love has not paid for already.
Okay, that's good, but it sounds textbook to me though, because I'm leaving.
Well, now the thing about it is, it would sound textbook if it wasn't for the fact that I've been through some things already.
Right.
Now, if we were talking about somebody who only been married for 5 years and never experienced it, it's a different story. But I am somebody who has experienced enough pain to know that I'm telling you the truth.
Okay. That's awesome. But I got to go. I would have to go.
I would have to go also.
Well, let me also say this.
So after 21 years, you just break camp on her, man? That's what you're saying, Darren? After 21 years, you just break camp?
After 21 years.
Something that happened 21 years ago.
For something that happened 21 years ago and I just now found out about it, it's just like it happened just now.
Okay.
Yeah. Because you lied about
so there would be no way that you would try to work through y'all been married 21, 25 years.
That'd be tough.
Something happened 25 years ago, you just say that's it, I'm done, and you walk away.
No, it'd be very tough because I would be lost for words that you have allowed me to raise this child. Let's say if
you were so absolute in that, and that you said it would. Would that be it? We know we wouldn't work on it, but that would be it.
When I found out my wife was doing
what
she did, the reason why I'm saying that because after 10 years of marriage, when I found out what my wife had done, it was over. I mean, it was no thought about it. It was no. And when she tried to come back, I said no.
Let me add something to this conversation right quick on this. I have a cousin. She's an aunt basically. She's 89. Her husband is 93. They've been married as of this summer. They've been married 75 years.
Wow.
75 years. They are responsible for 200 souls living on this planet. Okay? Now, given all of that, and as happy as they are at this ripe old age, okay, I don't care if I went through 10 years worth of drama. 75 years versus 10 years of drama. 10 years is a drop in the bucket, much less 3 to 5 of a little bit of pain. So the thing about it is a lot of times that I hear when I hear people talk about getting divorced is they're willing to throw away the baby with the bathwater But that's because they never considered the baby. They never considered the fact you got an investment here. This is not somebody. It's just like you said when you're talking about whether or not you get married again. What's the problem here? Do you want to go through the hassle of having to recreate all of that with somebody new that you don't know? Okay, my wife. I married my wife. She was 25. She only had 25 years worth of living. At this point, we've almost doubled her life when we got married.
So you're saying stay because of the age?
Do that all over again with somebody?
So you're saying stay because you're too old to go to somebody else? No.
It ain't. No, it's not about that. It's you don't get to 75 years by starting and stopping and starting over again.
If they were married, let me add this for you right quick. If they were been married for 75 years, they were married during a time where men was allowed. Well, the law wouldn't do anything about men beating on women, where they had a whole bunch of kids and the men can go have other kids outside of the marriage. And you ain't got to tell me if that's true or not. I'm just saying that's a period of time that it was okay for a married man to go outside of his marriage and do, and the woman would stay regardless. All right. So they endured the things that I'm not saying I would be able to today, but they endured a whole lot.
Yeah, and single motherhood was not respected also. And having a kid without being married was not respected. So there's a lot of things in 70 years that you don't have now.
Yeah.
Divorce, like you said, you divorce a man, good luck. You're on the street.
Yeah.
Yeah, but see, here again is just because the times have changed does not mean that necessarily that the things back then were right, like men beating on women. That wasn't right then. It ain't right now.
Right.
Okay?
But it was allowed.
But at the same time, giving room for me to leave my marriage wasn't right then, and it ain't right now. And it's because I say it's not right. The thing about it is you don't get to this spot without being convicted that you're not going to let your marriage fail. You've got to have that in your heart from the beginning. If you leave any room for doubt in that particular area, you're not going to make it.
Hey, can I explain something to you real quick? And this is I think this might be important a little bit. Hey, Darren, this is about you, in my opinion, and the reason that you say that. And I'm wondering the brother that was just speaking what he would think about this. I know Darren really, really well, and I believe that the reason that Darren, let me explain this about Darren. Darren is very, very, very tough. He can carry a lot of weight. He can deal with a lot of stuff, as long as all the cards are on the table. If he can't trust you, he's very fragile, and I think that's his problem with something like that. As long as all the cards is on the table, he can go to the end of the earth with you as a wife. But if the trust is broken, he just can't deal with that. And so the brother that was speaking, I guess you can get over that a lot easier than Darren can.
Yeah, right.
I was saying part of the reason why I can is I can tell you right now, and I think the last time I was on and talked, I said this before. If it wasn't for my belief in God, I couldn't say any of what I'm telling you now. If I didn't believe in God, none of this, I would not say any of what I'm saying right now. The only reason why I can say all this is because my love for my wife is not dependent on her. She's not the one that's in charge of it. My love for her is because of God, not because of her by herself. She's fallible. I'm fallible. We can make mistakes, but the thing about it is I love God so much that it covers her too. And what that means is that I love her unconditionally, period. I've had to forgive her for a whole lot of things in our marriage. But I can tell you right now, I am 10 times better than I was because I had to do that. If it wasn't for that, I would not be the man that I am.
Okay. Hey, brother, let me ask you something. I would like you to go back and listen to a show called Intimidation. these brothers that was on, they'd have been through physical abuse, verbal abuse, psychological abuse, all of the above. And I want you to, when you listen to that show, I want you to go back and say, if I put myself in that man's shoes, if my wife was doing the devious things that these guys' wives was doing to them, what would you do? Would you still feel the same way? Would you still say that, you know what, I am a doormat? I love her because I love God, and I'm going to allow God to guide my emotion or my marriage and all these other things, even though she was treating you like a doormat. So after you listen to that, we're going to have another conversation. You too, Mr.
I would absolutely do that. I would absolutely do that.
Please do.
Wow.
Yeah, and, speaking of, the brother brought up God, and I wanna drop a monkey wrench really quickly here. 30 seconds, fellas.
My wife don't want to hear nothing when it comes to intimacy. And I really struggle sometimes, man, because, that's my wife. She's not just anybody, and I want to spend time with her, but everything is just don't have an interest at all. And so I struggle with that. Sometimes, I might be in that mood, and she just emotionally, she's just not there. Because, my wife is constantly praying, and she's doing, she's reading the Word a lot. And so on one hand, I'm super, super excited to have a woman like that. But on the other hand, it's like if I really look at me, it's like I feel neglected sometimes. And I have to really, really take a step back and, and say, am I really being selfish or what?
Whoa. Wait.
Wow.
Your wife is not doing her wife duty, which is basically pleasing you, and you're telling me as a man that you feel you're not doing your duty?
No, that was a recording. That was a recording, Stan.
Yeah, that was a recording, yeah, that was a recording. And let me ask my question, Stan, then I'll throw it back out to y'all. Now y'all heard the clip, and just getting back on topic here, there are some Christian women out here who actually claim that Jesus is their boyfriend. Now, I think that some of them fall in love with Jesus for the simple fact that they can't find or keep a man. But what about this situation when your wife's boyfriend is Jesus?
Ooh, he's supposed
your wife's
to be
boyfriend is a pastor.
No.
All right, so
not a pastor.
Let me say that first of all, this comes from really, really bad theology. All right, number one. And as this is what I say to all guys as it relates to specifically as it relates to this. You are the leader of your household. You are the spiritual leader of your household. You are the one that should be leading spiritually. If you are doing that, she got one person to look at, you. But when you're not doing that, that's when the problem comes in. And so the thing about it is, and if you're leading and you're reading, then that means that you should have some understanding of what submission means. And you should be able to correctly explain it to your wife what it means for you to submit to her and what it means for her to submit to you. This should not be a problem. Now, if it is, and let me say this, because I didn't say that I would never get divorced. I never said that. Okay, and the thing about it is if my wife does not do what she is supposed to do spiritually for me and for this household, she has walked away from this marriage, and she has her own will. She can do that if she wants to. If she does, we'll get a divorce. But as long as she is willing to work at this relationship, then I will not, cannot divorce her. I will not divorce my wife. That includes sex. So that means you can't walk away and say, I'm not going to have sex with you. You can't do that. You can't do that. That means that you have quit on us. if you do that. At any point that you decide that you going to say, I ain't doing this and I ain't doing that, if it goes against the word of God, then you have left this relationship. That right there, you can get a divorce for.
Mm-hmm.
I would say a man needs to stand up, learn the Bible, and be the spiritual head of your house, and you ain't got to worry. You're the Christ that she needs to be her boyfriend. The Christ in you.
That's heavy. But in this case, she was like, no, go ahead. I got to read my word. So you're saying that she's in
there?
Well,
you got to fill in the blanks too, Rodney. It's not to make an excuse, but just to put everything on the table that she is an apostle and he is a pastor, and she says he felt she outranked him in the church as far as her position, and she felt that I have to get my word in because I'm spending time with God. So that's the fullness of that conversation. But it doesn't matter.
She's just a spiritual space cadet.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. She's a spiritual space cadet.
Yeah, she is, really, because the bottom line is she going to have to point that one out to me in the Bible somewhere, where even if she outranks him in terms of church leadership, that ain't got nothing to do with your household.
That's right.
Right. And as a matter of fact, people get so twisted into that. Our number one ministry is our spouse.
Absolutely.
And if the church gets in the way of that, you got things out of order.
Right.
But in some respects, fellas, don't y'all want your wives to have a personal relationship with Jesus?
We didn't say she shouldn't have a personal relationship.
Absolutely.
That's not part of the conversation.
When she uses that nonsense that I can't take care of my responsibilities to my husband because I have to, I'm in the Word enough. I got to be in the Word more. Then she doesn't understand what she's reading.
And even if she does have to be in the Word more, it says take a brief time, and after you take a brief time from stop having sex or remain absent from sex. For if you're married, hurry up and get back together so the devil won't get in it. So it does say that too.
It also says that you mutually agree.
Exactly. So don't throw that mess at my face about I'm with Jesus right now. I got to do this thing right quick. But she should say, or it should be added, well, after I finish, I'm gonna take care of you, baby.
Well, hey, look, me personally, to me, it's a part of our spirituality. Sex is not, we get in the habit of separating our spirituality from who we are as people. We act like sex is an unspiritual thing. And this is part of what's wrong with some women's minds, because they were taught for such a long time, and this is what, again, bad theology. I know women like this, okay? They were taught for so long as young ladies that you don't have sex, that you shouldn't do that, or you going to hell, and all of this kind of stuff. They get all of these negative messages about sex to the point where when they get married, they can't spiritually or mentally let go of those messages. So it screws them up sexually, and they can't perform because they've been taught that there's something wrong with it from a spiritual aspect. That is wrong, it's false, it is bad theology. The bottom line is God wants you to have sex. He wants you to enjoy it. He wants you to please your spouse.
Right.
Absolutely. Somebody had posted a story about a girl at 10 years old made a decision that she was going to be a virgin when she got married. And her whole life became her virginity. And by the time she got married and she was still a virgin, her virginity became her God. And it totally destroyed the relationship she had with her husband because the virginity was more important than anything to her. And then she felt dirty because she had sex with her husband, and all kind of craziness came from it because people make this thing bigger than what it really is.
Mm.
We can get anything out of whack.
We can twist and screw stuff up.
Yeah, and I've heard of some churches go so far as to sponsor events like Tea with the Lord, where women go to the event wearing a wedding gown and consider themselves to be brides of Christ. You know, what do y'all think about that? I mean, is that bad theology?
In my last church, there was this like I said, she was a spiritual space cadet, so heavenly minded she was no earthly good. But this woman actually had a table setting for her husband and had a wedding dress bought and didn't have a dude. As a matter of fact, I found out I was supposed to be that dude. And I didn't even know the woman, really. I mean, just smile hello. You know, it was a big, big church. And when I started dating Glenn, she would cut Glenn these looks. And Glenn said, "What's wrong with that woman?" I don't know. I found out she had all this stuff planned, and I was supposed to be the one. And we hadn't even never dated, nothing.
She's preparing for her man, yo. She's preparing for her man. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Well, Glenn pulled her aside and said, you know, she was cutting her. Glenn pulled her aside and says, "Have I offended you in some kind of way? You know?" And she said, "Yes, you have." And Glenn said, "Really? What did I do?" She said, she said, "I have been single and celibate for 7 years. And women like you make it tough for men, for women like me." Serious whacked up church.
Well, let me switch gears, fellas. Hold on. Recently, a married woman by the name of Eloa Atkinson wrote a blog post that went viral. The title of her post was, "I love my husband, but here's why I want to cheat." In the post, she wrote about how she married her soulmate, but also how she would casually bump into this other dude while walking her dog. Now, she never came on to this other man, nor did she have sex with him, but here's where it gets a little crazy. She was honest with her husband and actually shared her feelings with him that some days she wants to cheat on him. So what do y'all think of this, fellas? This was an exercise in brutal honesty. She never had sex with him. What do you think?
That's a stupid woman.
Really? Why so?
Absolutely. I mean that's to me that's just stupid.
So how would you react if your wife came to you and told you this story?
It said she'd been walking a dog and she got a guy she wants to bang?
Yes. Yeah. I mean, yes.
I'd be like, "Well, I guess you don't want to be with me."
That's right.
I'd say, well, first of all, I'd say, okay, what problems are we having? What's going on? I mean, on a serious tip, I'd say, okay, honey, what's going on? Is there something that's lacking in our relationship that would make you want to feel that way? I mean, seriously, that's where I would go. Okay.
Hey, look at it.
If she just said, "No, man, he was walking and I just want him," I said, "Well, what is lacking in our marriage that you would want to do that? What's lacking? There's got to be something that's lacking."
What's lacking?
Maybe it's maturity.
Maybe she's not mature. Okay, all right. But there would, if she came to me with that, I'd say, okay, what are you missing? What am I not fulfilling that you feel like, well, you need to have another man to do for you? Because I'm gonna tell you the truth. When I decided to marry my wife, I made a decision that I was going to learn my wife and find out all of her needs that earthly that could be fulfilled, and I wanted to be the one to fulfill them. So I studied her and studied her needs. And it's my responsibility to make sure if she has needs that I fill them. So those things don't happen. If I'm dropping the ball, okay, and you know what? On a regular basis, I ask my wife, is there anything I could do, to be a better husband? Is there anything that I'm lacking? I ask her that. Because if she has a need and you don't fill it, somebody else will.
So let me ask you a question, Andrew. If your wife have a need and you don't, I'm only asking you this because it came up at the conference this past weekend. By the way, it was an awesome time as well. But it came about that if your wife does not believe in giving oral sex,
right,
and you love oral sex, but now God has told her that was something that was done in the time to worship different pagan gods or whatever, and she says she's not going to be giving you any more oral sex. And you're like, well, hey, God ain't told me that, and this is something that you're not going to do anymore.
Okay.
This is something you're not going to do anymore. This is something that she's telling you she's not going to do anymore. What would be your response to that if you still wanted it?
Is that a deal breaker for me? Is that what you're saying? Would I divorce her because, or would I go out and have another woman?
No, I'm asking you, what would you do if your wife was to tell you something that you love? You probably, let's say you married her because she gives the best oral sex that you ever had, and now all of a sudden it's cut off. What would you do?
If I married her because she gave the best oral sex,
no, I didn't say because of. No. I'm saying that was one of the reasons. Now it can be one of the reasons that she have good sex or whatever. That's majority of the time. I'm gonna go with 95% of the time when a man marry a woman. That's one of the top priorities, that she's very sexually active. So since we have that in our minds. And then she's going to take away one of the things that she was good at, what would be your response?
Well, first of all, that wouldn't be a deal breaker for me, okay?
No, I didn't ask you what is a deal breaker. I just asked you what would be your response.
If she just flat out decided she was not going to do something sexually anymore that I really enjoyed doing?
Yeah.
Well, then I would have a choice to make.
You would have a
because I can't force her. I'm not going to rape her.
No. We didn't say. No, I'm saying it's not a deal breaker.
But if she said, I am no longer going to do X, Y, Z, oral sex, whatever it happened to be that I liked, that she decided she was no longer going to participate in for whatever reason, okay, then I have a choice to make.
Okay.
I'm either going to say, I don't agree with this, and this is something we need to do. And she says, I'm not doing it. Okay. And I'll do everything else, but I'm not doing that. Okay. I've got a choice to make. Either I'm going to accept that or I'm not.
Okay, but I was just only asking you that question. I was only asking you that question because you just said either you're going to do it or somebody else will. So that's why I asked you that question. Well, if she don't do that.
No. When I said that is, If that's something, let's say that's a deal breaker for me, like if she said, we are no longer going to have sex, that would be a deal breaker for me. She has abandoned the marriage covenant. But if she said, we are no longer going to have sex in this way, but we can have sex any other way, that's a different statement. Okay? If she, in my opinion, okay, if a woman pulls out sexually or a man pulls out sexually from a marriage, they've abandoned their marriage covenant.
No, we're not talking about having sex. I'm not saying that.
You're talking about one part of sex.
Yes, I'm talking about
if she said to me, all right, I'm no longer going to do this, and I know how much you love it, but I'm not going to do it, I would have a choice to make. Okay, would I leave the marriage?
Does that stance still stand there if you tell her, hey, I'm not eating you out no more. I mean, I'm not doing that with you no more, okay? Right. If you were the one that says, hey, I'm not doing that with you no more because I don't feel comfortable, I'm tired of washing my face, I'm going to work with all this smell on my face, whatever the case is. And then she said, no, what? I need for you to go ahead and hook that up because that's my favorite thing that you do for me. I mean, that's when I get my climax. And you say, well, I'm sorry. You know, do you think that she would find someone else to do that part for her?
No.
Okay, so based off your statement,
but here's the thing: the marriage bed is undefiled. Now, that's a churchy word for saying anything goes that both of y'all agree on.
That's right, except for a third party.
Now, both of you have to agree on whatever it is. If one of them, you know, there's some women that just will not do certain things. There's some men that won't do certain things. Okay,
Andrew, I'm asking you this. Hold on. I'm asking you this question.
No. Let me ask you something. What if your wife showed up and said, "Look, Dan, I bought a strap-on, and that's going to turn me on to jam you"?
No, it ain't gonna work. It's not gonna work. That's not part of the marriage. That's not part.
That's what?
That's not part of that. I'm only asking this question because you stated.
No, wait. You didn't. Wait, what if she said that's the turn on?
No, the turn on. Well, she's gonna have to. No, she's not gonna do that to me. But that's retarded. We're not talking about something that's retarded.
That's not retarded.
That is retarded.
Why is that retarded? If both of you agree on it.
If she wants to put a strap on and stick me.
I'm not agreeing to that.
No, that's not even part of anything. Where did that come from? That's just like saying,
that
hey, if I want to make an
orangutan.
Don't. Let's not talk. Let's not talk something that's not what we're talking about.
Now, man.
Well, Darren, can I answer your question?
Same thing is what I'm saying, Darren. That as revolting as that is to you and to me, to some women, that's oral sex is that revolting to them.
But
now
you
got
that she will find someone else to do it. You just said she will find someone else to do it. If you don't cover that for it, she will find someone else to do it.
No. If that's her deal breaker, if she says to me, my deal breaker is that I'm going to buy a strap-on and this and that, and I said, well, that doesn't work for me. She says, well, I'm going to find somebody else. Then we don't have a relationship that I thought we had.
I don't think you get what I'm saying.
Well, let me.
I don't think you understand.
Let me answer that. Here's where it boils down to: leaving is not an option. We both have to agree that leaving is not an option. Okay, so that means if you decide that you want something that I don't want, then you just got to deal with that. Okay, we're not talking about sex as a whole. You're talking about one part of sex, and I can deal with missing a part of sex.
But if she told you no more sex, that's a different ballgame.
That's a different ballgame. That's a whole different ballgame.
I was only going off the statement of saying.
That same way, Darren, and to some people, those may be deal breakers.
But what I'm saying, I was only going off a portion of what you were saying when you said if you won't do it, then someone else will. She's going to find somebody else that will.
Is oral sex a need or a desire?
If you made it part of your okay, hold on, let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. Let me answer it.
Mm-hmm.
If oral sex was part of your sexual activities before the marriage or during the marriage, or that's something you guys both enjoyed, let's say what your statement was. Let's say if strapping on and that's what she was doing, and you allowed that to happen before the marriage, and it was continue to happen throughout the marriage, and then all of a sudden it's taken out of your bed, then and you say you found something, she's gonna find somebody else to do it to. That's what I was asking you. If that was a common part of these people's marriage, right, Rodney? They used to have it.
Well,
they used to have it.
If we had something, now here's the situation. Okay, people change as they get older. Sex changes from 20 to 60. And 70 and 80, it changes. Okay, It's not going to be the same. You know, you may be going for 8 hours still, Darren. Okay,
yeah,
but
I am.
Well, that's cool. All right, because at 20, that's what I was doing.
Right.
But I'm not going 8 hours anymore. Okay? Sex changes as you get older.
Right.
Okay? I mean, when I was 20, I could screw 3, 4, 5 times a day.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? I'm closer to 55 now. I'm not screwing 3, 4, 5 times a day. You may still be. That's cool. Nothing wrong with that. All I'm saying is that we change. If that's a deal breaker for you, and when I said needs, there's a difference between a need and a want.
But we talking about an
okay. If my wife
we're not talking
said,
about a need and
I
a want.
want this, and wait. If my wife said I want this, and we talk about it, I said, well, that's not something that I'm comfortable with. Just like you said, I'm not comfortable with my wife strapping on and mailing me. You're not comfortable with that, right?
That was never part of the marriage bed. Now, if it's something that was
included, matter. She may have seen this and thought, "Wow, I always wanted to do this."
That's not part of the deal. That's not part of the original
what
deal.
What I'm saying is, what if she said, you know, I've always had this dream of doing this.
We'll keep dreaming, but that's not part of the original deal.
But that's a desire. That's not a need.
If oral sex was a part of the original deal, if you guys was already doing it, let's say something like, I got a sister-in-law, she don't like her husband hitting her from the back no more. But that was his favorite part, that was his favorite position. But she said, I don't went to church, and the only thing I learned, the sexual position we're supposed to do is missionary. And then he's like, well, I mean, come on now, babe. I mean, I'm not denying you. You're just going to have to hit it missionary. So then,
do you think that
was a
that's
part
a
of the original
situation?
Deal. Say what now?
Do you believe that that's a divorceable situation?
No, I didn't.
Because he can no longer
divorce. I'm talking about, is that something that you can say, look, if you won't do this, then somebody else will.
You can say that about anything. Is that the right thing to do? No, it's not. Okay? We got to dwell with our wives with understanding. Okay? We may be in a situation that certain things they can't do anymore because of whatever medical situations they're going through. Now, we could be idiots and say, well, you know what? If you can't do this, I'm going to do that.
No.
We need to dwell with our wives with understanding.
Somebody else wanted to say something. Go ahead, Carl.
I was just going to say that, whatever disagreements we have when it relates to how we have sex, going outside the marriage or leaving the marriage, all of that is off the table. So the answer to that is no, it's not okay to go get nailed by somebody else simply because you ain't getting it the way you like it. That doesn't work. Again, there are different levels of priority. Now, if you tell me that oral sex means more to you than our marriage, okay, you rank oral sex higher than our marriage because it ain't okay for you to go outside of it. Okay,
but the reason why
that now becomes a deal breaker.
But the reason why I asked that question, the reason why we're talking about this is because Rodney asked the question: if the woman, is it okay for the woman to be getting nailed in the backseat by another dude? And then you said the first thing you would say is, okay. I mean, the woman asked the man, told them in complete honesty that she wanted to have sex with. She imagined having sex with a guy that she saw walking the dog. And you stated, Andrew, that I would have a sit-down conversation with her, right? And you said,
and I'd say, is there a need that you have that I'm not fulfilling?
And if she stated, then my question was, if she stated
that
her need,
this guy will let me jam him with a dildo, and you won't. and that's my need. And I'd say, honey, that doesn't work for me. And
well,
she
let's
said,
bring it home.
but I want to jam you, and he'll let me jam him. And he don't even want no grease. He'll let me jam him dry. And I'd say, honey, you're defiling our marriage. And she said, well, that's what I want. And if you won't do that, I'm going to do this. And I'd say, well, that's the choice you have to make.
Andrew, bring it closer. Bring it closer to home.
That's as close as I want to get, bro.
No, it ain't close. That doesn't include anybody on this phone call. Okay? That might only include you. But that don't include nobody else.
Saying that would be okay with you. That wouldn't be your deal breaker. See, that'll be a deal breaker for me.
No,
that wouldn't be your deal breaker.
That's not what. Because I'm not. It ain't even gonna go that far. I'm talking about something that if that woman was to say, that guy, look, his lips look juicy, and I think he be licking his lips like he can tear me up down there, and you won't do it no more because you said that God told you not to have oral sex anymore. So that's all I think about now when I look at this dude. When you sit down and have that conversation with your wife and she says that, that's what brought her to those thoughts. Okay. And if that brings her to those thoughts. What would you say? What would be your response?
If that was the situation, I would say, honey, for whatever the reason, blah, 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 emotionally, spiritually, physically, I decided I can't do this or I won't do this anymore. And she says, well, that's why I'm going to go with so-and-so. I would say, is our marriage, is that more important than the 25, 30 years we have together?
No, that's why she's still going to stay married to you.
Blah, blah.
That's why she's still going to stay married to you, but she's just going to let somebody else eat the box.
Nope, nah.
You see, well, I guess in Darren world, I guess that's how it works.
No, I didn't say it was in my world. I'm talking about in this conversation that Rodney said that this woman had with her husband. She had this conversation with her husband.
If she believes that is more important than her marriage, dude would be real intelligent to bail.
I'm just saying.
Okay, because if my wife told me that was more important to her than our marriage,
listen, you're missing it, Andrew. You're missing it. There was the conversation was again. Listen now. The conversation was the woman in the brutal. Can you read it again, Rodney, so we can get back on that page? Because maybe I'm saying it wrong.
Yo, go ahead, bro.
Well, let me just say, I completely understand. And here's one thing I would say. First of all, for me, I would appreciate it. I would have first let her know that I appreciate the fact that she was open and honest about what she said versus holding it in and never saying nothing. Because she didn't have to admit it.
Right, and she ain't even did anything yet.
Right, exactly. So I appreciate the fact that she was honest enough to say what the problem is, what she wanted to do. Okay. Now I'm like your man. I would have said, well, let's talk about this so we can figure out what the deal is.
And the deal was. Let me tell you.
The deal is. If the deal is strictly that she just wants to do this dude, then my thing to her would have to be, this is something either that you're going to have to sacrifice this as part of what you want, or we got to do something else in terms of our relationship.
But I'm asking you if it was something that you pulled out of the marriage bed, if it was something that she loved doing and you're not doing it anymore because of whatever. Okay. That was my question. If she said, hey, you're not doing this, you're not having oral sex no more. I love oral sex and you're not having it no more. So that's what had my mind wondering if this dude do this well.
Well, one other thing, Darren, I would say to this: first of all, I wouldn't say no to something that my wife wanted to do, unless there was some clear reason why not to. And I know that the Bible is very broad when it says you shouldn't do anything that is what's the word? The Bible normally most translations. You don't want to do anything that is this way out there, basically. Okay, stuff like oral sex, anal sex, to me, that's not odd. That's not out there.
That's normal. Okay. Strapping on
dildos. She showed up with a strap on.
That's normal, Andrew. You still talking, man? Andrew.
That's not normal.
That's not normal. Not to nobody on this phone, like I said.
No, and the thing about it, she can't say no to something that's normal.
Right.
But here's the bottom line: we all have what's normal to us. And we all have what's acceptable, and that may change over time. Okay? When I was 19, man, I mean, hey, I was
a strap on, Andrew? You took a strap-on, Andrew?
Never had the strap on, but I've been just about everywhere else.
But you keep talking about it. You keep talking about it, bro. Every time we talk about sex, you talk about a strap-on, Andrew.
Well, you're talking about oral sex, and I'm trying to reduce it to the ridiculous. And what I'm saying is that we all have lines that we will not cross.
But these are lines that obviously weren't crossed. These are lines that was already normal in the relationship and their sexual.
But at some point that became a line that this person felt is not for them any longer.
Right. That's
okay. And what I'm trying to say is we all have lines. And the reason I picked way out because most guys that's not even a thought. Okay, so what I'm trying to say is we all have boxes and lines that we would say that's not going to happen, huh?
Listen, over this weekend we found out that it was a couple that said this is what we're not going to do anymore because one person said that God told them not to do it anymore, right?
Right.
Am I right, Tony?
Exactly.
So
exactly.
It became a new line in the sand.
You know what?
And
God didn't tell her that. She just made that damn decision. And she needs to give the dude a Hummer.
Well, y'all know what happened next, right? Y'all know what happened.
What happened next?
Somebody gave him a Hummer.
No. The husband responded with his side of the story. Her husband, Nigel, wrote a response blog entitled, "My wife told me she wants to cheat. Here's how I feel." And he writes that he and his wife have an agreement to disclose their deepest and darkest secrets with each other. They believe that secrets kill relationships. So in their marriage, they believe...
Is this a Christian couple?
I don't know. But in their marriage, they believe in having raw and honest conversations with one another. Or as Brother Ike would say, those fierce conversations. So I don't know, y'all were talking about dildos and, these sort of things. I don't know if it was any of that involved, but it was basically from what the article states, the original and the contrasting article is that, they have an agreement, as the brother said, that to be open and honest, with each other about the deepest and darkest secrets that they have. And not necessarily that they're, it's like a warning saying that I'm going to sleep with him tomorrow. I'm just letting you know. But it's just letting each other know these feelings.
No, Rodney, I got a question. So if the guy is walking with a girl in the Walmart, as Tony says, and the chick is fat to death, does he look at his wife and say, damn, she's fat, I'd like to nail that?
I don't know.
I'm gonna tell you. I'll tell you what a minister told me, and I believe it to this day. He says he believes in being brutally honest, and ever since I got married, my wife and I, we are brutally honest when it comes to stuff like that. If I go to Walmart and I see a woman who is fine, I'm gonna say something, but I'm gonna say it tactfully. I'm not gonna say, "Damn, I want to stick it." I'm gonna be like, "Ooh,
exactly."
That's
You're gonna say, "Oh, she's attractive."
Right.
But I'm just saying, why would you want to? Okay, first of all, if you don't mind saying it.
There's 2 reasons why to do it.
Okay, go ahead.
There are 2 reasons why to do it. Number one, we all need an outlet. Okay, if you hold stuff in, you create dark places in you that the devil can work on and use against you. So by you telling it up front, you have no secrets. You're able to express yourself, and you can be honest. You ain't got to worry about the trust issue because you're being completely honest.
So your wife has told you you would be okay with your wife telling you, man, that dude is really, really fine. I could just imagine him A, B, C, D, E, F, G.
No, see, that's what now getting to untactfulness. No,
that's right. You have to reduce it to the ridiculous, Darren.
No. That's what you say. Okay. Let's say tactfully. If she tactfully expressed to you that she's attractive to a guy that you guys see, what does that do?
She doesn't have to say she's attractive. She can say, "Oh, that's a nice looking dude."
Yeah.
Why would I want to know
that? And you can say, "Oh, that's a nice looking woman," but you don't have to say, "Damn."
Why? Okay.
I mean, I'm just saying. I mean, first of all, if your wife thinks that you don't believe there's any other nice looking women on this planet, something's wrong with her.
But she don't want to hear it. You know what I mean?
Okay. Well, I'm going to tell you what. If there's a nice looking woman and my wife and I know, I said, that's a good looking lady. She says, yeah, she is. But I'm not going to say, damn, I'd like to tear that apart.
No, I'm not. You're not. But what I'm saying, what good comes out of me knowing that my wife sees another man as being attractive? What
I'm gonna tell you. Here's the second.
Hold on, Andrew. Let him talk. Let him talk, Andrew. Let him talk.
Here's the second reason, which answers yours, is by doing that, it provides an open, honest, trusting relationship that once you get used to it, it is hard to break. I can tell you right now, my wife can look at my face without me saying a word and know whether or not I'm lying.
Yep.
And that's because she is so used to me telling the absolute brutal truth that when I get ready to tell a lie, and it has happened, I know the day and the time, the last time my wife knew that I was lying to her. I remember it was about 3 or 4 years ago. She knew the day and the time when I lied to her. And I didn't even say nothing. She just looked at
me. You got to understand, women know when other women are attractive.
Okay, but if she asks you, don't you think she's attractive? Then okay, be honest about your answer. But if she don't ask you nothing, you ain't got to be walking around saying, "Oh, she's very pretty," or wow.
You don't have to be ridiculous and overboard. But I'm gonna tell you what happened in my house tonight. We were talking about a lady that was on TV. Okay, and I said, she's very attractive. She said, yeah, and we talked about somebody else in another situation, and it wasn't a threat or anything like that. And there's some very attractive women in this world, and that's the truth. Okay, but that doesn't mean I want to be with them.
Okay, but have your wife ever told you that a man was very attractive to her?
Yeah. She's told me, that's a good-looking guy. I said, yeah, he is. I guess he's a good-looking guy. He's not butt ugly. She's told me, he's a good-looking guy.
But what
comes out of that? About what it was. What comes out of it, there is something so reassuring and does something for your confidence level when you know that you can have that kind of conversation, that kind of real conversation with your mate. Because guess what? I'm not afraid. You know what? I hear people all the time saying, "Oh man, I'm not gonna have no single female friends, because of this, that, and
Let me ask you one. Let me ask you a question.
Mature enough to handle that."
All right, sir. Let me ask you a question. Andrew, you included to answer this question. Anybody can answer this question. Have your wife ever talked about her past loves, and have she ever been brutally honest about they've been better than you?
No, she ain't ever said nothing like that. But we've talked about her past loves, yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
so
I know every guy that she's been involved with.
Okay,
but I mean, she doesn't say, "Oh yeah, well this guy was 18 inches and he was
okay."
Tearing it out sideways.
Wait. This is included. Hold on a second. This is included. Now, if you was hey baby, what were they? Because every man's ego is different. Okay. Now, if you're and if she starts talking about a certain dude, you would want to know. If you want to know, hey, was he better than me? Or I would just only imagine that would be one of the conversations if you guys are being brutally honest.
That question. I would never ask
that question. And the question here's
but what
the
if
deal.
She volunteered it? What if she volunteered it because she's being brutally honest? And honestly, baby, you about 4 inches shorter than he was.
You want to hear the conversation my wife and I had the other day? I'm getting all these crazy emails, junk mails, and hey, you can get 2 inches longer in 2 weeks, all kind of stuff. My wife and I are joking about it. She says, I get those stupid emails too. She said, it amazes me that guys think that the size of their dick has anything to do with it. Conversation me and my wife have.
Okay, but what if she said, I could use 2 more inches? Would you be able to handle that brutality? I don't think that brings anything to the table that's positive.
No, it's not a problem. Because I'm gonna tell you what, I'm gonna hit it with 18 inches.
What you just said was very important. Okay, The bottom line is when you're having a conversation, even if it's brutally honest, okay, I don't say anything to damage my wife. I don't say anything that's going to hurt her. I will tell her what she needs to hear, and I will say it in the best way that I possibly can. If I have to hurt her because I can't come up with any other way of saying something, then I'll do that. But I will always tell her I said this out of love, okay? So she telling me something like that, knowing that there isn't anything that I can do about it, there is bottom line is you saying that to hurt me.
Okay.
Right.
Let's have a hypothetical conversation real quick. All right. And I'm acting as your wife at this time, okay?
Okay.
Have you ever had a better person that made love better than me? And
why would you ask your wife that?
No, this is the wife asking him because he wants to know.
And
why would you
I would first
that?
ask you, why would you want to know that?
No.
Why would you answer that?
Listen, just listen. You were talking about brute honesty, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Your wife asked you because she wants to know. And it's no reason
tell you what,
because she's seeing it on Oprah. That's why she asked. She's seen it on Oprah.
I'm never going to answer that question.
And I'm going to tell you, I would tell her, I'm not answering that question.
So
my wife asks me some silly questions sometimes about stupid stuff, okay? And I tell her, like, she's like, well, when did you do this? I said, the first time I did that, I was 3 years old. She said, you ain't 60. I said, right. She keeps asking. I ain't going to ask. She can't make me answer certain questions. I'm not going to answer something that I know that's going to open up a can of worms. That's stupid.
No.
I wasn't a virgin when I married my wife. I've been married. This is my third marriage. I'm not going into stupid stuff.
What I'm saying, I'm trying to prove the point that my man said you'll be brutally honest, and it's been working all that time. And this conversation that this lady and this man say, hey, we don't want to know the deepest, darkest secrets and all of this other stuff. Tell me your intimacy, tell me your fantasies. And that's why I think it's crazy, because anything can come up that you're going to be feeling uncomfortable to answer to your wife. If she come out with something like that.
Let me say brutal honesty also comes with rules. There's nothing in my life that does not have some amount of rules. So the bottom line is, we're brutally honest, but like I said, rules are, number one, I'm not going to say nothing to you that's going to hurt you, and anything that I say to you is going to be out of love. If it is not going to be beneficial to a relationship, then it doesn't belong here at all. Those are just basic rules of the relationship.
Okay.
So now anything past some of these rules, then, anything goes after that.
Okay. You see, Dan, I've had some freaky times. Okay, I've been in the menage a trois. I've had the freakies, and I'm not talking about all that stuff with my wife.
Tell me about that menage a trois you had one time, Andrew. Tell me about that. Would you
not
be willing
to do it?
Oh, okay.
No, not going to do it because it's not beneficial. And
that's my point.
I wanted that. I would have married it. I married you because that kind of crazy. That's nowhere near as important to me as what we have.
That's my point.
And on top of that, you know what? That's leadership. If she would ask a question like that, okay, it's leadership from a man for him to explain why he don't need to know that.
Okay.
So I've had to draw lines because my wife has asked me things, and I'm not going to answer.
Okay. So
I'm not
the
proud
best
of some of
answer
the
is
stuff I've done.
The best answer about being brutally honest is it comes with rules, and that's not what was said before. So I'll leave it at that, and that's good words, because when you tell somebody to be brutally honest, I know I'm brutally honest with my wife and anybody else, but like you said, it got bottle caps on it. Some of them. It got rules. It got a lot of rules.
You've got to say to yourself, am I going to hurt you by answering this?
Yeah.
Sometimes women are stupid, and they ask us stuff that if we answer, we're going to hurt them.
Well, then why use the term brutally honest then?
I never did. I'm going to be intelligent with what I answer to my wife because you know what? It will not help our marriage.
We was talking to the other guy.
Some of y'all, just walk the path. I've been out there.
We talking to the other guy. He the one said brutally honest, but he fixed it up by saying, hey, it comes with rules and tactfulness and not trying to hurt her or whatever. If the brute honesty is, hey, the menage a trois was better than you, he's not going to say that. He's going to say, I'm not going to answer.
When I say brutal or brutally honest, what I mean is I'm not afraid to tell you the truth. Is what that means. Now, again,
but if you don't tell her, then that shows you some kind of. If you don't tell her, then that shows you are afraid to tell her the truth about whatever she's asking. That's going to hurt her.
I'm only telling her the truth as it relates to making the situation better. So when I say brutally honest, if I feel like there's something that is going to affect this relationship, I'm not going to be afraid to tell you. If if I feel like, and in fact I have, to be honest with you, I've done it twice in my marriage where I have said to my wife, you know what, I have thought about screwing somebody else. I even named her. She knows.
Wow.
How well did that go?
What did she say?
What did she say?
Well, okay, since y'all want to ask this question, the first time,
we want to know.
Yeah. The first time both times we were having issues in our marriage, so there were already some issues already there, and it was the last time I lied to her. She knew when the young lady called me, because my demeanor. My whole demeanor changed immediately, okay? And so she kept asking me about it. I just kept telling her, don't worry about that. Worry about the issues we got. So then finally, after a couple months, she had asked me, and I just said, all right, I'll tell you. I've been talking to so-and-so. And she, so she started asking me questions about it, and she asked me, do you want to screw her? And I told her, yeah. I said, I do. But it was because of the open, honest conversation that we had that I ended up not doing it. Okay, and then the second time it happened, we were still having issues in our relationship, but it had gotten down to the point where I wanted to cheat, and my wife said to me, she said, if you feel like this will make things better, then you go ahead and do it. She gave me permission to do it. Okay.
Okay. She gave you a pass.
She and I can tell you when it happened. It was a Friday night. It was a Friday night when she gave me permission to do what I wanted to do. It was that next morning, Saturday morning. Woke up in the morning, and the weight of everything that I was trying to do, the selfishness that it was going to take in order for me to do all of this that I said I wanted to do, all of the weight came down on me, and I just had to cry out to God. I fell on the floor in the bathroom, and I said, God, take it from me. And God instantly took the want and the desire. He took it away from me instantly.
Okay. So
and I've not looked back since.
So let me ask you a question. If your wife, if you would have took your wife up on her offer, do you think that she would have been okay with you doing that, or do you think that she would have been seeking revenge? She the one told you it was okay.
At the time, I think that she would have been fine because, like I said, we had been through some rough stuff, and this was a couple of years in the making before I got to that point. So she had seen what it had done to me. So I think that she wanted to. Basically, I think she released me to do it because it had become everything that we had discussed. The issues that we were trying to deal with in our marriage, we wasn't dealing with because I was dealing with my selfishness. So everything else didn't matter anymore. So I think that it probably would have turned out the same way, but I can tell you this. I would have, it would have killed me personally.
If she would have retaliated.
No, it would have killed me for me to do it.
Well, how would you would have felt if she would have came with retaliation, or answer back. Since you did it, I'm going to do it.
By mine, I wouldn't have cared. To be honest with you, I would not have cared at all, because I would have. The only thing that mattered to me, the only thing that matters to me now, is that I would have let myself down. Forget letting her down. It had nothing to do. Again, my relationship with my wife has nothing to do with her. It has all to do with God. I would have let myself down.
Okay. Awesome.
Preach, brother, preach.
Hey, Darren, I got a question for you real quick. And the only reason I'm asking you is because I know that you, if your wife was to cheat on you, that it would be hard for you to stay with her.
Right.
So, as Christian men, and I think everybody, pretty much most of us on the phone are Christian men, we know that the devil is real, and we know that the devil will try to take advantage of a male's mind or a female's mind. If the devil was able to take advantage of your thoughts, your wife's thought patterns, and she was to cheat on you, even though we both know she's a good person, and maybe he just got the best of her, why would you hold that against her to the point that you would divorce her?
It's not.
No, I didn't say I would. I wouldn't. No, I wouldn't divorce my wife.
I think you already said you wouldn't leave her. I
wouldn't leave.
No, that's why the only person I really could think to ask is Darren, because Darren kind of flat out said that he don't think he could deal with that.
Oh
no, because I'm thinking about her as far as what she deserves and what kind of man that I will be in that. After that state of mind, she won't deserve a man like that, even if she's totally asked for forgiveness, and she totally deserves it. Me being in my maturity state or my immature state of mind of not letting it go, I got a problem with that. Right now, God is still dealing with me with that, and I'm honest enough to say that I'm not. I haven't graduated to that level where I can look past that and be like, okay, moving on. I guess I think about. Looking at myself so hard in the mirror and trying to mirror the Bible and trying to mirror the man that God wants me to be. I just expect I want to accept no excuses for somebody else that I'm married to saying that, hey, I just slipped or it just happened. I can't at this point and stage in my life. I could not accept that. If I'm doing it and I'm showing you nothing but pure love and the Christ-like men. Every woman want to say the first thing they say is, "I want a Christian man." But then when you get that man and then you mistreat him, how do you expect him to respond to your mistreatment? So, I guess I have to answer that question. To have God to answer that question for me before I can move on with being able to tolerate someone cheating on me and I still give them 150%.
But I'm
not Hosea.
How would Jesus respond?
I'm not him either. I'm not Hosea. I'm not Jesus. I'm not God. And I'm aiming to be, but I'm not there yet. And I'm honestly to say that, hey, if you cheat on me, I'm out.
Well, brother, I'm telling you, Christ is in you. So, however Christ would respond to the situation should be what rises up inside of you.
You're right. Absolutely. I totally agree with you, but he ain't there. He ain't got me there yet. I'm still on this place where, don't do me that way, because I am going to make sure that you are treated 150% correctly as far as the way Christ said to treat his wife. I'm going to do that for you 150%. So,
hey, Darren, I got a quick question for you. How do you deal with when you have that stance in 1 Peter when he says, when the fiery trials come, not if, but when the fiery trials come, you're being tested. How would you deal with that? Do you believe that?
Yeah,
do you believe that fiery trials are going to come?
I do believe fiery trials are going to come, but I don't believe it takes place in infidelity. Because if that was the case...
The only reason I'm telling you that is the same thing you said to me was the same thing my ex-wife said. And here's the thing. When you paint yourself into that corner, you don't give yourself the ability to have grace and to have grace to take over when
You're
you make
absolutely right.
absolute statements like
You're absolutely right, and that's what I'm saying. I'm able to give the brute and honest truth about what I'm not able to handle, and that's one of the things I'm not able to. I haven't graduated yet when it comes to that. I have not graduated yet, and I just pray that I don't get tried. You know.
I hope you don't.
Yeah, I pray.
You got to also understand that the enemy hears everything you say, and he's trying to destroy you.
Yeah, you're right. But I mean, that's if he can't get me through another woman, my children, my grandchildren. He can't get me through no other way. The only way he can have, I mean, I already know, and my wife knows too. I would not be able to deal with that. I can't, because I can't give her 150% like I was able to before. I wouldn't be able. That's unfair to her, especially if she's really changed. That's unfair to her for her to have below standard treatment from her husband or mediocre treatment. That's unfair to her. That's not right.
Do you believe that the Christ in you has the ability to do that?
Say again.
Do you believe that the Christ in you has the ability to do that?
Oh, of course. But would I remove my flesh from that situation, or could I?
Would you submit to the Christ in you, or would you, as you say, your selfish flesh? Which would be the dominant?
I don't know at this point. I think that from the way I'm thinking, like, at the point that I said, hey, I would never raise anybody's kids, so don't think about it, don't try it, and then I end up raising my grandson. I don't know what had happened during that time, because at that time I was so sold out. I was going to get a divorce because I was so adamant about not raising somebody else's kids. But when God told me to do it, then I was like, oh well, hey, he's more dominant than I am, and I say he's going to live in me, and that's what if I believe that, then I'm gonna have to go with this. And I went with it at that time. But before, if you would have asked me, I wouldn't have been mature enough to. I would have been speaking out of the flesh and saying, "Hey, no, I'm not raising nobody kids, and if she make me, I'm leaving her." That would have been my stance, and that was my stance at that point. But like right now, I don't know what it would be. I'm telling you right now, from the flesh talking, I ain't having it. I'm not sticking around. No, I'm not doing that.
Well, here in live, one thing about that's in every conversation, every different way of thinking about this whole thing about cheating and so on and so forth. You have to allow God to do what He is going to do with you, and this is a part that until you experience it, it's kind of hard to explain. But when you give up and let go of yourself completely, and give into what God wants to do with you, what that really means, because that's very preachy to say that, but to put it in real life terms, what it boils down to is His will has to become your will. Okay, you have to want to do it this way. If my wife cheats, I want to forgive her.
That's excellent, brother. That's easier said than done, man.
It is. I completely agree, but I can tell you this. If you get a taste of doing it and you do it with the small things, it will become easier with the big things.
Okay. Again, textbook. But when it comes down to it, what you're going to do and how you're going to respond and say, yeah, I forgive you, with tears and snot coming out your face, and then you try to have sex with that wife that just treated you bad. I'm going to tell you, personally, I tried to have sex with my ex-wife after I found out that she cheated on me. Dude, I couldn't even get an erection. My body would not respond because my mind was so jacked up. So that's what it brings to, because like you said, you have to completely let go.
You got to completely let go.
Yeah. You would have to completely, but I at that point I tried. I really, really tried, and I was trying to do everything that got me excited from when I used to be with her, and my body would not move.
That's good words. And in the theme, keeping with the theme of brutal honesty, I want to switch gears one final time as we close. It was actually a story of a woman who penned a letter to the wife of her boyfriend. That's right, she wrote a letter to the wife of the dude she was sleeping with. She starts this letter by saying, "Dear wife of my boyfriend, I'm not sorry." She goes on to say that she's done countless repulsive things and all without an ounce of regret. She talks about how she took pleasure in not waking this woman's husband after he fell asleep after they had had sex one night, just so he'd spend the entire night in her bed. What do y'all think so far of this letter, fellas? Woman writes a letter to the wife of her boyfriend.
It'd be hard for me to lay eyes on her. Yeah. Yeah.
With the letter, what do you say? Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, the letter continues, and it continues. It's been a year now since your husband broke up with me, but he didn't do it for you or to save your marriage. He did it because our relationship had reached a point that it was causing me more pain than it was bringing me joy. He knew he would never leave you and the kids. He knew how much it hurt me every time he kissed me goodbye to go home to you. Cheating on you he could live with. Hurting me he couldn't.
Wow. Wow. Can I respond first to this one?
Go ahead, bro.
See, this is another reason why it's hard for me to cheat, is because the sound of you reading this letter is so repulsive to me. This woman is beyond selfish. She is ridiculously selfish that she would even write this letter in the state of revenge. I don't particularly care to be around people who can't control themselves emotionally. And this is a woman who's out of control emotionally. It's completely unattractive.
But you see, you don't realize that until it's too late.
Yeah.
I mean, when she's boiling the rabbit, then you realize that.
Well, the thing about it is here's the real test of the tape. If I'm talking to a young lady and I fail to mention that I'm married, then it's my fault. But if I say I'm married and we go down this route, it's her fault. Now, the thing about it, I'm gonna tell you why. What I mean by that is, if I meet a woman today, let's say I'm at a bar somewhere after work, and I meet a young lady and she commences to want to talk to me, and I say to you, "I'm sorry, but I'm married," but yet you still try to hit on me. You just turned. My everything has been turned off. Even if you was the prettiest thing that walked in the building, you have immediately become ugly to me. Because this says something about your character that you're willing to still hold this conversation. Your character has just turned dark.
Well, she then writes that she knows that his wife hates her, but she wished that they could talk. She wanted to tell the wife that she's not a bad or heartless person.
Oh, Lord, really?
Why are y'all laughing? Why are you laughing?
Because she's just the opposite. When you got to say, I'm not prejudiced, you is prejudiced. If you got to say, I'm not heartless, you heartless. So
it's heartless for her to write the letter.
Yeah. She already knows she grimy.
This is one headline, one topic I never wanted to see. You know that?
Why, Joe? Why, brother? Speak on it.
You got to have, oh, my God, what has to be happening for somebody to write a letter to a wife and then in that letter imply that it's the wife's fault, that she, the one who is helping her husband cheat, is not to blame. And I'm hoping that it hasn't happened to any of you, because most of you are so open with your relationships, the good and the bad. and I'm hoping it hasn't happened to anybody there, and the story that you're talking about is relating to somebody that you know. But it is sick. And none of you have said that it's sick. You've just said like it's extremely selfish. This is a morally corrupt, psychologically damaged, emotionally ill, I can't say it on this show, but it rhymes with okay. How any woman can do this, and I'm sure guys have done it too, how anybody can do this. It just shows emotional dysfunction of a type that probably I can't describe right now. How do you blame somebody for your lack of happiness when you're the one who's trying to destroy their happiness? How do you do that?
Mm.
Yeah, it says you are unstable, you're insecure. I mean, how can
those are
good
words.
You give anybody something. Yeah, I know, that was nice.
Very. All right? Very. Somebody has a boyfriend or a girlfriend and they're writing to them and they say, well, your boyfriend or well, in this particular case, the girl's writing to the wife and saying, well, your husband didn't break up with me because he was tired of me. He was tired of you, but he was so hurt every time he missed me or he kissed me, and then he's only staying with you for the kids. Well, you've got to be more than just insecure to write the letter. It's not the wife's fault. That's the wife's duty to try to keep the husband with her. And this witch is trying to break things up and then trying to make it seem as though it's the wife's fault. Can somebody give me, like, a strap or something so I can beat the shit out of this? What's wrong with this one?
You got to keep it clean, Joe. You got to keep it clean.
Hey, I'm next.
I'll give it to you if there's anything left of that butt that I keep hitting with the strap. Oh, how do you do it? How do you do it? I mean it. How do you do it? I mean, this is, most of the time relationships are bad enough as they are. You know, it's normal to have emotional baggage and bring it into the present relationship. But this is something where, and the guy too. I mean, look, the guy can't skate either. He's not supposed to be cheating on his wife. If they got problems, try to work it out. If you can't work it out, get a legitimate divorce, break it off. But if you're going to go hunting with a girl, don't find a girl that's going to write your wife. What's wrong with him? But other than that, how you guys been?
Hey, Joe, what's up, man?
Well, yeah, and finally, we'll flip it over to open mic. She writes that she was walking down the street one night and, past the local restaurant where he and his wife go every Friday night. Wow. And as she looked through the window of the restaurant, she saw what caused her as much pain as she could ever cause his wife. So she was, on the other side. So.
Oh, poor little girl.
But with that, let me flip it over to open mic. Y'all don't go nowhere. Hold on a second.
and I praise to live. It may be a sacrifice, still my desire is to give you my all, that you may be glorified every day and night. I got praise on my mind. A pure heart, lead me to come now, Lord, so worship can start. Your goodness compels me to serve and obey. Fill me with your spirit now, Lord, again and again.
It is with great pleasure that I welcome you to today's graduation ceremony. Students, when you hear the reason or reasons for your absences throughout the years, please exit the auditorium without your high school diploma. Once you've exited, remove your cap and gown and proceed into the unknown. Too tired. Family trip. Part-time job. Helping around the house. Sick day. Starting the holidays early. Just because.
Starting in the 6th grade, students who miss 18 days or more of school in a year for any reason will fall behind and risk not graduating high school. How many days of school has your child missed this year? Absences add up. Keep track at boostattendance.org today. Brought to you by the U.S. Army and the Ad Council.
Hey, how's my favorite Robin Lynn doing? This is DJ Antron calling from California. Thank you so much, Robin Lynn, for keeping the vibes alive all across the country and around the world, connecting so many of us together. Keep it going. Keep doing what you're doing. Love you. Peace.
stacking racks and stacking racks. I'm building skyscrapers. Money on my mind, I gotta get this paper. Work on the scale, now watch that calculator.
I've been stacking bitches, young getting money and smoking some dope. Pass it to my newest girl. She keep it wet, my dick all in the world. Covering it blocks, she's still selling the rock, and she standing in nude in my passenger. She dressed on cartooning, my driving saloon, no wonder the acne is us. I got LeBron James money, counting these jacking, these grants and these honeys. Stupid swag, club rocking, bottle popping, she thug hopping.
My hands in the air, she on my Hollies. She making her life at a party. Drop ass to the hotel so I could have finished the what I had started.
My fingers are hurting, I'm catching arthritis. From counting these hundreds and putting on lighters. From city to city, they treat me like family. We go. I carry the heater, just call me Miami. Born to count paper, I'll fuck her later. Yeah. All diamond chains and my wrist is on Jacobs. Count up, count up, count up, count up, count up, count up, count up. Let's count up, 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 count up.
I gotta get this paper. Stacking racks and stacking racks. I'm building skyscrapers. Money on my mind. I gotta get this paper. Work on the scale. Now watch that calculator.
My bank's overflowing, call it overload. Money. I ain't talking Wells Fargo, shoebox ago. Interest is my boy, call it benefit. Where that? I'll bet I'll show you something easily. Put your limit on, call it black card. High grade. 10,000, are you a fucking retard? With the cartel. How you gonna match me? That's called overkill. I could turn $1 to 100 bills. My wallet so high, you ain't never lied. My money sufficient funds, it will qualify. Count up, count up, count up, I will never turn down. 10, 20, 50 for me, that's a turnaround.
Money on my mind, I gotta get this paper. Stacking racks and stacking racks, I'm building skyscrapers. Money on my mind, I gotta get this paper. Work on the scale, now watch that calculator.
See the body, my team is counting money. All you other niggas trying. Get up, see the body, my team is counting
DJ Giza. Download mixtapes.org. DJ Giza.
Most of these girls like to argue. See, I don't really argue. Nah, she making faces while she take this dick. So many real niggas, girl, it's hard to pick. Girl, turn up like a after party. Girl, turn up like a after party. She said she never drove foreign, so I introduced her to my red Ferrari. Girl, turn up, why don't you pop the pill? Girl, turn up like a after party. Girl, turn up, let the hoe know. Even though it ain't your concert, turn it to your show. Ooh, girl. Ooh, girl. She make Giuseppe's look like 6 inches. Blog size TMZ, now they taking pictures. Most of these girls like to argue. See, I don't really argue. Nah, she making faces while she take the dick. So many real niggas, girl, it's hard to pick one. Girl, turn up like a after party. Girl, turn up like a after party. She said she never drove foreign, so I introduced her to my red Ferrari.
Introduced her to that Rari, introduced her to my crib, introduced her to that Molly. Now she taking off her shit. Let's get lost in the moment, girl. I'm with it if you with it, say I own it, girl.
I ain't doing no plan.
Tonight it's all on you, really it's on me. I ain't paying for no pussy.
That pussy paying for me.
Put that pussy where I want it, girl. Put that pussy where you want it, girl. Tonight I own it.
Most of these girls like to argue. See, I don't really argue. Nah, she making faces while she take this dick. So many real niggas, girl, it's hard to pick one. Girl, turn up like a after party. Girl, turn up like a after party. She said she never drove foreign, so So I introduced her to my red Ferrari. Introduced her to that lifestyle. Girl, you fucking with a gold member, not no lifestyle. So just play your position. I'ma go crazy in that pussy while I'm in it. You my witness. I don't know how you say, ooh, girl. Ooh, girl. Almost paid her tuition. My work, magic magician. Lately this bitch, she with it. Most of these girls like to argue. See, I don't really argue. Nah, she making faces while she take this dick. So many real niggas, girl, it's hard to pick. Girl, turn up like an after party.
Stay down with day one niggas and me in the club screaming, no new friends, no new friends, no new friends.
Download this song for free at downloadmixtapes.org.
Bullying. Whether it be cyber, verbal, or physical, millions of children each year are victims to bullying, and there isn't a limit to the age. From college freshmen to as young as kindergarten, bullying is destroying our children's youth. If you see someone being bullied, step up. Tell someone. Be a friend and make sure the person is okay. Because together, we can stand up to bullying.
AP Update, I'm Diane Kepley. The mystery of a wing flap found on an Indian Ocean island may be on its way to being solved.
What French aviation experts are trying to establish is, first of all, the big million-dollar question whether this does in fact belong to the ill-fated Flight 370. Analysts basically will then go and try to glean details from the actual component, things like metal stress, to see what exactly caused the flap to break off.
The AP's Thomas Addison in Paris.
Other things might include spot explosive or things like chemical traces. And one of the other things that experts have said that they might look into is to try and study the sea life that actually formed on the wing to pinpoint what actually happened to this flight and where it actually came from in the Indian Ocean.
But experts are warning that no matter what they conclude from this flap, there's no guarantee the plane's vital black box recorders or other debris can be found. AP Update, I'm Diane Kepley.
Vibes Live Radio with Robin Lynn.
set it off in the right way. You got a banging booty and a tight waist. I've been a fan since I met you in the lobby, and hopefully you end up over my place.
I can't believe I never saw you coming over until you put your pretty hand up on my shoulder. I wanna touch, I wanna kiss, I wanna hold you. Yeah, I really wanna get you hot tonight. Come on. So tell me what I gotta do to get the hook up in the future. Baby, you choose tonight, whatever you like, and I'ma pick you up on time.
And it's cool if you don't want to, but you be a fool if you don't want to. Because I guarantee that if you with me, you're gonna be feeling how you're supposed to be.
Girl, give me your number, give it to me. Forget it, here go my number. Here you go. Forget it, you don't need my number. No, you don't. Because we're gonna get hot tonight. Ooh, girl, give me your number, give it to me. Forget it, here go my number. Here you go. Forget it, you don't need my number. No, you don't. Because we're gonna get hot tonight. That's right.
And if you say you don't like it my way, we can do it your way. Any way is okay.
And if you say
you don't like it my way, we can do it.
to get the hook up in the future. You choose the night, whatever you like, and I'ma pick you up on time. And it's cool if you don't want to, but you're a fool if you don't want to. Cause I guarantee that if you're with me, we're gonna have a good time tonight. Give me your number, yeah. Forget it, here go my number. Here you go. Forget it, you don't need my number. Forget it, you don't. Cause we're gonna get hot tonight. Come on, girl. Give me your number. Forget it, here go my number. Come and get it. Forget it, you don't need my number. Forget it, you don't really need it at all. Cause we're gonna get hot tonight. Can we break it down? Baby, can we break this down? Can we break it down? Yeah. Cause we're gonna get hot tonight. Can we break it down? Can we break it down? Can we break it down? Cause we're gonna get hot tonight. So get your hands up. Girl, give me seen a lot of shorties in the club tonight. But you the only shorty I'ma love tonight. The one and only woman that I'm thinking of. So come on over here, let me show you some love. Girl, I wanna get you real hot tonight. See if I can love you non-stop tonight. Wanna make you feel like you feel alright. We're gonna get hot tonight. Girl, give me your number. Forget it, here go my number. Forget it, you don't need my number. Cause we're gonna get hot tonight. Right here. Girl, give me your number. Forget it, here go my number. Forget it, you don't need my number. Cause we're gonna get hot tonight. Right here. Let me say, ooh, baby. Alright, yeah. And E, keep it hot for you. I wanna say,
I suppose, because I just hit girlfriend jalopy in my drop top rolls. Traffic came to a halt. I'm like, I beg your pardon, madam, it was totally my fault. And instead of a yelling and acting all bug hunt, all in my drop dead gorgeous mug. Pretty, body definitely curvy. And thirdly, the way she dyed her hair bronze fitted her superbly. Baby, let me say what's on my mind. Take a little time to express myself. Honey, I think you're fly. Now I don't have no problem saying what I like. I'd like to spend some time with you, starting with tonight. And I like the way you walk, the sexy way you talk. Ooh, I can't help myself, baby. I like to kiss your lips, and when you move your hips, ooh, I can't help myself, baby. I like. Here's the situation, I lay it on the line. Meaningless relationship, be wasting all my time. You are the special someone that I wanna get to know. Baby, can't you see it in my eyes? I wanna take you home tonight. Let's take our time, do it nice, do it slow. Baby, we got nowhere to go. Oh, I hope you don't mind. Oh, I'm coming on real strong. I give good loving all night long. Oh, I like the way you walk, the sexy way you talk. So sexy, I can't help myself, baby. I like to kiss your lips, and when you move your hips, ooh, I can't help myself, baby. I like the way you walk, the sexy way you talk. So sexy, I can't help myself, baby. I like to kiss your lips, and when you move your hips, ooh, I can't help myself, baby. I like oh, yeah, baby, yeah, shit, I like, oh yeah. Tonight, let's take our time, do it nice, do it slow. Baby, we got nowhere to go. Oh, I hope you don't mind. Oh, I'm coming on real strong. Give good loving all night long.
way you talk. Ooh, I can't help myself. Baby, I like to kiss your lips. And when
Hey, Rob. What? That groove that makes me wanna move.
it's in the mix. Hey, DJs. All across the USA. Yep. Yes, I do. Every time I turn on my radio, I can't believe my ears. The sounds I hear, I can't explain. It must be my mix. Mix, baby. It's in the mix. Yeah. Mix, baby. It's in the mix. Don Cornelius. Hey, Soul Train. I love to see your body talk. I love the way you dance to the funky mix. Keep dancing and prancing and dancing and prancing. Get down. Every time I watch TV, I see you dancing to the mix. Mix, baby. It's in the mix. Mix, baby, baby. It's in the mix. Scratch, scratch.
Give me a hanky check.
Everybody's digging the sound. Stereophonic, electric sound. Ultrasonic, mercurial sounds. All of the sounds are in the mix. Mix, baby. It's in the mix. Yeah. Mix, baby. It's in the mix. Wow. Every time I go to a disco, I notice all the strange sounds. The people, they be dancing. The sound of the funky mix. Keep on dancing, keep on prancing. Yeah, they'll be dancing and prancing.
It's the second time around for you and I, girl. And believe me, woman, it's confusing me. I'm afraid to say let's make up and all's forgiven. But something tells me I'm headed for heartbreak. So lady, please, I'm praying that this time, yeah, this time will be different, and you and I could share this dream that I visualize. Are you really Now the time before, when we got together, you promised you'd be forever true to me. But all I've got from you was lots of talking, lonely nights filled with misery. So lady, please, please tell me now that when I fulfill your needs, you won't up and leave me, even though you know I'll let you come back. Tell me, are you really ready for love, girl? Or is it just a lonely talk again?
Hi, this is Morgan Freeman. Has anyone ever said, you're the picture of health? You look healthy and you feel fine. But that may not be the full picture. Colorectal cancer is the second leading cancer killer of men and women over 50. Doesn't always cause symptoms, but it can be prevented. Get screened. Make sure you are the picture of health.
A message from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention.
Yo, what's up, kid? This is Silent Atlantis. Shout out to Robin Lynn for keeping the vibes live. One.
I know. Then after that, we was gonna go in, get the money, come out.
Yeah.
We're gonna do this under 2 motherfucking minutes.
Of course, my
I ain't trying
nigga.
to take no time. I ain't trying to go to jail.
Me
This is
either,
how
nigga.
we gonna
Shit.
do it, man. We gonna go right in. We ain't gonna blaze yet, but we gonna go down. We're gonna be some millionaires after this shit here.
Well, look, I wrote this shit out, my nigga. I got this shit staged out. Stage 1 is my gun and it's cocked and loaded. To open that safe, I use explosives. Don't nobody move, this a motherfucking sticker. Throw your phones in the middle of the flow for the pickup. Hey, you, yeah, you bitch, what the fuck the money? I don't care if you scared, put the money in the bag. It better not be that mark shit either. AK, how you shitting through a glass strip bag. Better not push the buttons, I pull the trigger. Today, all you cracks gon' feel this nigga. Stage 2, the joker face stressed down. There's a night, ain't none of you cops gon' catch this nigga. Getaway car all gassed up. Go 150 when I pass up. Head towards another breaker faster. Getting to the mids while I'm after. Alright, everybody, this is a motherfucking sticker. You know what the fuck this is? I want all y'all motherfucking faces on the floor right now.
Man, where the motherfucking manager at? Where he at? I need that code right now. I'm here for the motherfucking pickup.
beat up with my hat low. Got another nigga sitting at the back door. Hell yeah, I'm crazy, what you think the Mac for? Went in the building, then straight whack the hoe. Silly nigga didn't know I came back for. Now I got all hands up jack mode. Even got all little niggas sipping mud. Keep shit down low, looking out for bugs. Got my dog and they ain't say they on point. Got another bitch who rolling up a joint. And what's her name, man? Please don't ask. And that hold up down and she got a mask. My other dog, he got a pistol. Shooting niggas, blowing whistle. And if you don't do what I say, then trust me, dog, no one to miss you.
Yeah, nigga. You got so much motherfucking money, right? Woo! We rich, nigga, we rich.
Man, we could do everything we need right now.
Buy a fucking city with this type of money right here,
man,
nigga.
we could rule the world with this money.
Man, dog, that was a genius. What you did, you told the motherfuckers get on the floor and shit, nigga, what?
What?
Nigga, hey, I like the way you talk to that manager. You push that motherfucker in the gate and push his ass in the phone. Nigga, that was genius.
Yes, sir.
Hey, who's that behind us?
Oh, shit.
Ain't nobody telling us, dog.
Ain't nobody was telling us.
Man, fuck, man. I can't go down for this shit, man.
Man, fuck that shit, man. Where the strap at?
Slip and Slide DJs.
We the Cartel. Damn, son. Where'd you find this?
What you know about grinding all day, man? Like, real talk. I'm talking about, like, grinding. I'm talking about hard sweat, putting tears in it, man. This song right here, man, I fucks with it. Real talk, man.
I grind all day, gotta get my life right. I can't slow down, blunt rolled so tight. I'ma blow this bitch like a stick of dynamite. I'm tossing back the snops till it feels so right. I grind all day, gotta get my life right. I can't slow down, blunt rolled so tight. I'ma blow this bitch like a stick of dynamite. I'm tossing back the snops till it feels so right.
I grind like gears, hear me like ears. Please have no fears, ZIG is here. Stereo so clear, beats in my ears. Got peers by my side while we drink these beers. As we laugh and think way back to yesteryear. There's no need to question that, yes it's real. Ask me how I feel, I've been days for days. Scribbling and writing verses, page for page. Pleading, don't shock me bro, they tase and tase. If your punk ass is timid, then stay afraid. Cause it's a cold world, blood, I heard them say. Way back in the days on that movie Colors. Throwback old school like the Doobie Brothers. Shouts out to Memphis Street Boys, we truly brothers. Who's he? It's no other than the Duke dude who sips brew and liquor, so let's do this, dude.
I grind all day, gotta get my life right. I can't slow down, blunt rolled so tight. I'ma blow this bitch like a stick of dynamite. I'm tossing back the snops till it feels so right. I grind all day, gotta get my life right. I can't slow down, blunt rolled so tight. I'ma blow this bitch like a stick of dynamite. I'm tossing back the snops till it feels so right.
I'm vividly remember sitting smoking weed all day. I so low, I'm way too blowed, I'm throwed off in the hallway. Then the munchies hit me, why these funkies fucking with me? Bitches sitting pretty, giving class on getting ass and sucking titties. Blazing up when waking up, deal with those that's fake as fuck. Bitches up, I take them, bump my skill, I bet I'll raise it up. Break pass with two claim, by straight fast with boot swings. Just straight ass like poop stains, they break fast like food chains. Up in school, writing rhymes and notepad. Telling haters move around like a fucking nomad. Drop out of school, now I work and rhyme full time. Try to keep my bars in order like a school line. This the way I live, motivate from pay they give. Yep, I live with these 16s like I'm raising kids. Placing bids, make it big, this I hoping that's the ring. Rapping fiend, make these tracks until I get the stacks of green.
I grind all day, gotta get my life right. I can't slow down, blunt rolled so tight. I'ma blow this bitch like a stick of dynamite. I'm tossing back the snops till it feels so right. I grind all day, gotta get my life right. I can't slow down, blunt rolled so tight. I'ma blow this bitch like a stick of dynamite. I'm tossing back the snops till it feels so right. Alright.
Jumping out a window cause I'm feeling suicidal. I pull up to the curb just to read my Bible. I died last night, so this is my revival. God is the judge, so this is my trial. I'm looking for a better path cause I don't want no bloodbath. Acting like I won't smash and kick door and steal stash. Mom's always on my ass just because I move fast. Like to rap and smoke grass, take names and kick ass. Grind all day, pray all night.
won't have to fight, cause I know my future is bright. That 2020 is the sight. Keep it aight. FCF is the click, bitch.
Can't you see what I see? And now you know what I've known. Can't you see what I see? And now you know what I've known. I grind all day, gotta get my life right. I can't slow down, blunt rolled so tight. I'ma blow this bitch like a stick of dynamite. I'm tossing back the snaps till it feels so right. I grind all day, gotta get my life right. I can't slow down, blunt rolled so tight. I'ma blow this bitch like a stick of dynamite. I'm tossing back the snaps till it feels so right. Alright.
You're struggling with your mortgage. You think about it. You don't do anything but think about it.
What are we gonna do if we lose the house? Where are we gonna go?
At work.
I can't let anybody find out. I'm so embarrassed.
At dinner.
How can I tell the kids? It's gonna wreck their lives.
And at 3 o'clock in the morning.
I don't know what to do. I don't know how to get through this. What's gonna happen to us?
It's time to stop thinking. It's time to start dialing. Call 1-888-995-HOPE for a free government program that offers expert one-on-one advice about your mortgage options.
I'm all alone.
No, you're not. We've helped over 1 million homeowners, and we want to help you. And now there are more ways to help. Call 1-888-995-HOPE or visit makinghomeaffordable.gov, brought to you by the U.S. Treasury, HUD, and the Ad Council.
Welcome to the Real News Network. I'm Jessica Devereaux in Baltimore. For the third time in almost 30 years, the people of the Palestinian village of Khirbet Sousia are under the threat of forced displacement. After Israel's High Court ordered the demolition of 17 homes, Israel plans to move forward with plans to demolish the village. The demolition plans have been condemned by the U.S. State Department as well as the EU. Here to discuss this is Rifat Al-Arir. He is the co-editor of Gaza Unsilenced. Thank you for joining us, Rifat.
Thank you for having me, Jessica.
So, Rifat, given that the village is in Area C of the West Bank, which is under control by the Israeli government, isn't this demolition legal under international law?
Like you said, Area C is a Palestinian area that is under full control of the Israeli occupation. Area C is about 75 of the West Bank. Building settlements according to international law in Area C is illegal, and Palestinians are entitled to have their own land and build their own houses and make their life easy. So we're speaking here about an area that Palestinian area that Israel controls and does not allow Palestinians to build houses, does not allow Palestinians to have their own farms, water resources, does not allow Palestinians to build structures to enable their own economy. At the same time, Israeli settlers come from around the world. They enjoy all water resources. They enjoy the housing units in the settlements at the expense of the Palestinians, the indigenous people.
What do you make of the argument that Palestine signed on to the Oslo Accords and agreed to this arrangement?
The Oslo Accord is unfair. I personally don't know what was going on in the minds of the Palestinians who signed the Oslo Accord. It's unfair. it doesn't do Palestinians justice. Simply, it gives, for example, the Palestinian Authority full control to Area A, which is about 3% of the West Bank. And even that full control doesn't mean that the Israeli occupation does not storm the area, arrest people, and even shoot and kill people. The Oslo Accord is not just, again, but even the Oslo Accord does not give the land to Israel to own and give to the Jewish people and take it away from the Palestinians who actually own the land and have owned the land for a long time. So and that's why, like I said before, building settlements is illegal in areas. So see, even according to Oslo Accords, building settlements, displacing Palestinians is not legal.
So some news is that the United States, which is Israel's strongest ally, is certainly a foreign aid. Israel is the #1 recipient of aid from the United States. Why is the U.S. coming out against these plans?
Because simply it is, Israel is being given everything by America. The moral support, the financial support, the technological support, the intelligence support, everything. America has given the Palestinians almost nothing. What John Kirby, the U.S. State Department spokesman, said when he described this Israeli act of demolishing Susia village, he described it as provocative and harmful, and he urged Israel not to demolish any structure in the village. Number one, America is only paying lip service. It tries, to appease to the Palestinians so that the Palestinian politicians say America is a fair peace broker or something. So America is doing nothing except lip service, and at the same time, America is trying to tell the people that there is a possibility of the two-state solution, which Israel is making impossible. So when even the United States, Israel's best friend and Israel's cash cow in so many ways, if I may use the term, when even America criticizes Israel's move, it means that Israel has gone too far. Israel has crossed so many red lines that, again, America is slamming this move. But sadly, on the ground, it means nothing, because Israel goes on destroying and demolishing Palestinian property, destroying Palestinian communities, forcibly displacing tens of thousands of Palestinians, and building settlements.
Rifat, just really quickly, I know there are people who might be watching this saying, why should I even take notice to this specific village? Can you just provide some context about this village and its history and its position as being sort of on the front line of this settlers debate?
Susia has been there for a long time. The villages there have been displaced several times by Israel, but the villages are located in Area C, like I said, in the West Bank, south of Hebron. For Israel, Susia is one of tens of villages. Today, Susia, tomorrow another village, and the day after another village. But luckily, we have some, activism, some voices that are trying, to bring global attention and people's attention, so that we don't allow Israel to demolish and to displace the people of the Susia and other villages in that area. That area for some people is also fertile. People have fields there. There is good resources, of water that, again, Israel is controlling. The people. I need to say something probably here very, very briefly. When we speak about Israel destroying houses, it doesn't only mean destroying houses. Israel destroys every possible means of living, like water wells, the settlers at night attack